Yeah, it's a very Cappy Christmas, not just a regular Cappy Christmas. None of those average Cappy Christmas. This is very Cappy Christmas.
It's a very Cappy Christmas.
I
And the
spent-
hat, the hat is what does it, right?
The hat, and I don't know if you noticed the thumbnail. I spent a whole minute
Cappy
erasing
gloves.
the
the thumbnail.
Yeah, the thumbnail for the podcast. If you go to the thumbnail, which I guess you can't because the video is live, I erased the fez that my caricature has, and I put this hat there.
Oh, okay.
Took some mad Microsoft Paint skills. I had to make a triangle.
Microsoft Paint? What the hell?
Yeah.
Like in the Stone Age.
Dude, so Microsoft, because we always have to constantly improve. They got rid of Movie Maker, which is what I solely rely on to do. Yeah, they got rid of Movie Maker, and I rely on that solely for all the SL consulting videos because the other software is just a memory hog, and I have these old Windows 7 machines. And I've tried, and it takes 3 times as long for my computer to render and save
that's a
video.
pain in the ass.
Right. So I have on my thumb drive the installation files of Microsoft Movie Maker because you can't find it on the internet for free.
Okay.
Yes. So
Look
now
I'm all shrewd and shit. Nice.
And now that they are mandating, they're not mandating. They're getting rid of support for Windows 7 starting January 14th. I have no idea if the Microsoft Movie Maker program I have will run on Windows 10. So I may be forced to drop
Windows 10 is a piece of shit anyway.
Yeah, well, what else do we got? I mean, what's the...
That's true.
Usually, because now I'm not going to Windows 8. No one's going... I think they grabbed all those disks and burned them.
Oh, yeah. That was a very short-lived version.
Yeah, and then Windows 8.1.
Hey, Red Crusader's in the house.
Who's that?
He drops in. He's a masculine geek devotee, and he comes on your show. What's up, Red?
Cool. Yeah, and I invited everybody, and so if people do get here whenever, that's cool. But it's gonna be there's no format to the show. This was originally. Did I tell you the origins of this?
No. Do tell.
So the origins was my buddy Adam Piggott. He true jet setter, driving and flying all over the place. Him and his wife moved to Holland, and he ended up getting divorced. But he's from Australia originally, so the guy was kind of orphaned in Holland. His wife left him and all that, and it's a pain in the ass to fly 24 hours to Australia. So I was kind of feeling bad, like, Pickett's going to be by himself. And, I remember when I was in college, or you guys probably remember, like, when you were 20, you'd have that person who was either out of state or had, they weren't going to go to Christmas. They was too far away or for whatever reason, in the military or whatever. So I thought, we'll do a podcast and I'll have Piggott on, and that way he won't be too bad. Well, it turns out the fucker has like 1,000 friends, and he's all set, and he doesn't need your shit. He doesn't need shit. So I'm like, fuck him. Fuck Piggott. And so I'm like, let's have a Cappy Christmas anyway, and we'll have a podcast. But because we do have orphans, including the famous Florian. Florian, you're on mute.
Oh, yeah, I am. Happy Christmas.
Man, Merry Christmas. How are you, Florian?
I'm fine. Perfectly well. I decided to take finally some time off today, and thought I'd clean up my computer and stuff like that. Of course, the computer crashes for hours on end.
Must be Windows 10.
Is not the best. Oh man, it's like horrible.
Is it Windows 10?
Windows 10, and I'm still glad that I kept my old Windows XP laptop from 10 years ago. I'm glad that I did. I'm gonna revive that soon, because the first thing it did was, when I had this computer, it was like trying to log me on to like OneDrive, and I didn't want that.
Oh yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so I deleted everything OneDrive, and now the computer kind of like is sluggish here and there. But that's just I'm probably going back to Apple. You can say whatever you want against Apple, but the price they have, in my view, is worth it because the camera and the microphone is just good quality, and so I probably bite the lemon and buy it at one point back.
What about Linux? Can't you just? I mean, that's kind of been my backup. Is if I wanted something light and wasn't going to force me to download this and register that and username, password this, I'd Mint or Ubuntu or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never really tried it, but I should probably just give it a go. That's a good point.
At one time, I used to know these things, but things like, will all my files work or transfer? And I don't know anymore. I don't have the question. That's been mine, where I don't want to go to Windows 10. What's his name? DT. Yeah, he has nightmares. I mean, because he does a lot of podcasting, and he could see the chart, whatever, the memory consumption, and it's redlining it. And sure enough, he robots out. And for us, I don't know. I can't have that downtime. I just need a machine that works. And I mean, it's been out, what, 2 years, 3 years, Windows 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it about time they come out with it? I mean, another one's in the making, no doubt.
Probably. There's always one in the making.
I don't hope those corporate figureheads don't think that Windows 10 is the greatest shit they ever created. Let's do one that's even more like Windows 10 and call it, I don't know, Windows 11, Windows double screw. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you have, Vincent?
What's that?
Vincent, what kind of computer do you prefer?
I do like Apple products if you're doing any kind of video or audio or anything with media. It's really good. Business, not so much. Like word processing and business apps, unless that's changed about, and I don't know about it. But over the past, couple years, not more than a couple of years, I've been a Windows consumer, for good or for ill. Right now. I'm on a Windows 7 machine.
I hear that's still good.
Yeah.
Well, 7's great. It's just it's gonna be stopped supporting in a week and a half or something.
Yeah. End of life is coming up.
Yeah. And so now I gotta back up both my laptop and my desktop, and that's exactly what I wanted to fucking do with tax season starting. That's exactly, because that's just you just can't. I would be very curious to see what you have to. I know we're getting more efficient, and you got time saving here, and you got how much time you're dicking around with just overhead and maintenance to keep your machinery and your computers and your software and your apps going versus how much time you actually get work done.
An hour per week, probably. Still an hour too much.
Yeah, no. And then related to that, even though it's not technology related, again, if we had a sales tax, I wouldn't have to fill out spending 2 weeks an income tax return. No, that would go away too. You could get everybody a 2-week vacation if you just got rid of the income tax, replace it with a sales tax. But these are Christmas wish lists that just are not going to come true.
I kind of wish that that the government would just put tax, just make it change. Tax day, one day before the election.
Will never happen. Will never happen. Chris Beckloff is in the house. Chris, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I see you have. Did you get those for Christmas there? That little Bulbasaur in your bottle of Captain Morgan?
I actually got that little Bulbasaur last year for Christmas.
That's cute as hell, man.
Yeah, one of the sponsors of my show sent it to me.
Oh, cool. Does he snore? Is he a squeak toy, or is he just a sleeping Bulbasaur?
And as for the Captain Morgan, I always have a bottle of Captain Morgan in the house.
As well, you should. Yes. Don't get it anywhere near Aaron and TJ because they'll fucking drink it all.
I only drink Kraken rum, not that Captain Morgan. That looks like a fancy bottle, isn't it?
It's the reserve, isn't it?
Kraken, yeah, it's the reserve stuff. Kraken's not bad, but I prefer Captain Morgan.
Yeah, well, we have to have you on because you're a heretic, and you're the only person on the internet who doesn't believe Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And in the sake of diversity and affirmative action, I figured we'd have you on.
No, I'm the only person that's just going to not go along with the joke that it's a Christmas movie. Okay, it's a great movie. Don't get me wrong; it's a fantastic movie. It's one of the best action movies of the '80s. But no, it's not a Christmas movie. It is a movie that happens to take place at Christmas.
Bullrush is in the house. Hey, Bullrush. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. This is not the rum we are looking for.
The Rome we are looking for?
The rum are, the stuff that you
rum.
drank the entire
Yes.
time when you were in Village by the Sea.
Did I not buy you 2 whole bottles?
We were talking about this already, Aaron. You know what you did.
I know what I did. Yeah.
Yes.
I watched TJ drink a lot of rum. That's what I did.
You and TJ. Well, you were taking more naps than rum, to be fair.
To be fair, right?
Yeah.
Because of that whole maybe
Cappy's
I might
getting
have
old.
cancer. That too.
He's getting old. He's got to take a lot of naps.
Oh, it was.
Them Gen Xers are heading for the retirement home here. So.
Hey, how far are you from 40 there, Chris? You're coming up on that pretty quick, aren't you?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm still 24. That's how I feel. So I'm going with that.
Yeah, I noticed when you charged up that mountain. I was like, man, I can't keep up with Chris. He probably wants to go hiking again. It was hard keeping up with your 24-year-old self.
Yep.
Oh no, you will get. Oh, one thing though, I'll tell you this. This was the first Christmas I think where everybody not only didn't want to get anybody gifts, no one cared because we were all old adults and we've already bought all of our stuff. And the inconvenience of having to buy somebody else a gift, it was just like, no, we don't want to do it. And
see, I like getting my friends gifts. It's the family that I don't like shopping for gifts because it's like my friends, I know all the stuff that they like, that they're nerdy about. You know what I mean? Right. So I could just keep an eye out for that kind of stuff and get something that they don't even know exists. That kind of stuff. It's like a game. Like my best friend and I, we actually have a competition on Christmas of who gets the other person the better gift. But then when you're shopping for family and you don't see them almost all the time and you don't know and you just got to get them like a gift card or something, that's the part where it feels like a chore.
Yeah,
that's true. Aaron, and Aaron still hasn't gotten my gift yet to him.
Did you send something in the mail?
No, not in the mail. Check your email, you son of a bitch.
Check my email. Which one?
Damn it. All the D&D crew got something from me. He
sent Aaron a subscription to black.com.
From masculine D.
He already has that. No, from my personal account.
You sent it to my Cappy Cap account?
Yeah.
I hope I didn't delete it here. Hang on.
You dumb son of a...
You're not like awarding me Dungeons and Dragons XP. I see that.
No.
Oh, you can give that to Christmas? Wow, I just known that 20 years ago.
July. No, that's not it. Did I delete it?
You just threw it right in the spam folder.
Check your spam folder. It's from Amazon, you silly bastard.
Oh, I did get that gift. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was looking for your email. Yeah, dude, that was real nice. You didn't have to do that. I didn't get you shit.
No, just it's a token of my appreciation for your friendship over the years. And your awesome D&D playing skills. So there you go.
My D&D playing skill. What?
Yeah, Your one character.
My one character, who is myself, that I keep playing.
Pretty much. That's what I say, and you're always like, no, it's Sled. It's not me.
Well, hey, no, Piet. Now hold on. Did I not try and have another character this time that was different?
You did. Yes.
Right.
You did.
Okay. And I had his name was Flunk. And it was a different character. And you're like, well, where's Sled? I'm like, I thought you wanted. No, we want Sled. And I'm like, okay, I'll bring back Sled. And then I had my ratty old character sheet and everything. And
Aaron, is your character, I mean, not too personal, but is your character ever dying if you always play the same one? Doesn't it happen from time to time?
It's real interesting. It depends on the dungeon master because I play honest. And I remember when we first started playing, Vince, you'll remember this. I rolled snake eyes or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I'm out of hit points. And then the dungeon master is just kind of like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I'm dead. And then there's all these, it's like the impeachment process or passing the budget. You know, there's always these, well, he's not really dead. He's near dead. Yeah. And then,
I didn't want to kill you right away.
Yeah. And then he's like, well, how many hit points did you have? And I said, well, I had this many hit points.
I think you rolled that. I think you rolled that shit wrong.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I rolled a 1.
No. When you were doing your hit points, you probably needed more than what you had.
Well, but here's the other thing is I did not pick the character to be like me. I literally searched Dungeons and Dragons pre-made character sheet, grabbed the first one, and it just happened to be me. I mean, to the penny, 5'8", 145 pounds, drunk, hates people, gambles, lives for himself. I mean, it was like, I could play this character all day long. But so the whatever hit points was, that was a level 4, I think we were playing character. And but to answer Florian's question, yeah, I mean, I play honest, and yeah, you can have your character die. But if you're addicted to it, which I could see some of these people being, yeah, you might get pissed, but if you're dead, your character is dead. Otherwise, you're invincible, you're immortal, you could go. Then there really isn't all that fun or that risk. It's just playing it on easy mode.
Yeah, having that constant tension of you might die is always good. That's why you want to play Call of Cthulhu. Then because you're guaranteed, your character's guaranteed almost, every scenario, just die.
Oh, I like Call of Cthulhu. It's like it has a lot of detective story from the 1920s, often in Germany, also other places, I think.
Like one of the what do they call it? One of the traditional campaigns that's already been written.
Yeah, I played it once, and my friend told me more of it, who was more active, and most of it, a lot of it is playing in either Berlin, Germany of the 20s, or in a little bit earlier, actually, in Sherlock Holmes, Scotland Yard era,
Victoria, England type.
Yeah, Victorian era. I mean, and that makes sense now that I'm talking about it, right? Because it's Victorian horror, basically.
Well, I didn't play Cthulhu. I played it once with Davis Arini long ago, but it was short lived, and it was just for him. Well, have you played Dungeons and Dragons though?
Me, yeah. I remember even that you could die, but until you were minus 10 hit points, there was still a chance that you get revived by a spell. Like that.
Oh yeah.
Why don't Beckloff? I've never heard you even mention playing D&D. All your geekery, and you've even ran a comic book shop. I've never heard you ever talk board games or RPGs.
I played D&D for a while, but it's one of those things where, I mean, every time I played it, we got lost in it for hours on end. So it becomes a point where it's like getting 3 friends together for 6 to 10 hours just becomes a hassle. Everybody's got these damn adult responsibilities. Oh, I can't do it. I have a family.
I know, right?
Whatever, loser.
There is a time commitment to Dungeons and Dragons. That's true.
I used to do the DM a lot, and I like to come up with campaigns that sort of semi-troll people, where the best solution is something they wouldn't think of. I mean, maybe being diplomatic or maybe not going direct. I try to make it so the best solution is something that I know the people I'm playing with aren't that inclined to want to do, so that they have a hard time if they just go at it the way they naturally do.
I DM'd once, but it's for Shadowrun, and that was pretty bad. That was over. Gosh, that's coming up on 30 years ago.
That's a fun game.
That is a fun game. Yeah.
You know what? Shadowrun, we played it in the 80s and 90s, and my friend Beck at the time, when he told me about it, he said, "Hey, that's like corporations have all the powers, like almost as if you could see in the future, right?"
Yeah, it's come to pass. Shadowrun's like this prophetic. Yeah.
Well, I've often said we live in a cyberpunk world minus the cool parts.
Yeah, no trolls around, no orcs,
no cyborgs. Can't run around shooting things.
Well, you could, but not for very long.
Not for very long, yeah.
Unless you're in Detroit. It's pretty much free range out there.
God, have you guys heard all the shootings? Like, there's been a spate. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was just maybe these shootings are always occurring, but we couldn't hear about it because, Donald Trump's impeachment was much more important. But there was like this spate of shootings, and none of it you could. Us, okay, Chris, you give us guff about being old, and 10X and boomers and all that. We would actually have the wisdom not to participate or go to these things. Like, one was an 18 plus open rap all-star night, and surprise, surprise, there was a shooting. It was just like, who knew? And then there was another one where it was 22nd birthday for a guy who died a year ago when he got shot because he was trying to carjack a guy, and that guy had his carry conceal permit. So they're celebrating this guy's death a year ago, or his birthday a year or whatever. And there was a shooting there, and then there was it's like, oh, maybe it is a little bit Shadowrunning, but the cops tend to come in very quickly and put the end to the fun there.
You know, it fits the old saying. So, he didn't. If you want to console someone, you say he didn't really die. He's just, we're going to follow him later. He's just going ahead, and you know, you don't expect it quite so literal to be true just 1 year later. But there we are.
Jack Napier's in the house. Jack, thanks for waking up. What time is it over there?
It is 2:12 a.m. And Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. You're on the 26th already, right?
Merry Christmas, Jack.
Yeah, Christmas is over for us. But
Are you out in England?
No, Netherlands.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, if you're in England, I'd have to ask if you have a license to be on this stream.
Have you guys ever met? Has everyone met Jack or know of Jack or no?
Of course.
I know you, but I don't know about Florian or Chris.
I don't think I've been on a stream with him, but I've seen him around these corners.
Yeah, apparently he has a show or a YouTube channel. I've never watched. I've never heard of it. He says some things.
I take care of the elderly gentleman named Rob on Friday nights. He gets lonely, and I have a drink with him because of credits, things like that.
Yes. That's your
You guys
community service for the week.
You guys got a hell of a report. I really enjoy tuning in just to hear. Well, you see what the women you gotta do. Let me tell you, their sport is
And take a
what
puff
the
on a
hell,
cigar.
Goddamn freaking foul filth. Let me just say what it's like, yeah, that's the Jack and Rob show. Yeah.
Kind of like that. Hey, young man, you just need to go. Let a bird. Sit back. Let a bird. But the goddamn fucking comments. Kind of like that.
Yep,
Well,
that's how it goes.
You have Black Santa, right? In the Netherlands. No, that's what he's like. He goes down the chimney chutes, and because of the soot. What's his name? It's not Krampus, but it's something like that.
Krampus.
Oh, Krampus.
No,
I'm like Black Santa. What is that?
Krampus is a German guy who goes around, scares everyone, and takes the children away who were naughty or something like that. It's a Bavarian tradition.
No, that's Krampus. We have Sinterklaas, and he's white, but he has helpers who are black. And that's
so it's the South all over again. The South rise. Okay, great.
He has involuntary helpers.
This has no problems in today's world whatsoever. All right, so this white guy who's rich has all these black assistants. Right? Go on, Jack. Tell us about this fine cultural
Do
tradition.
the black guys wear white gloves?
Yes. It's pretty awful for Americans and everybody else in the world. Cappy, look up Sinterklaas. I'll type it in the private chat. You'll love it. You'll love this.
How do you spell it? Cindr, like cinder?
No, Sinterklaas.
Sinterklaas. Oh yeah, it's got that Netherlands. Okay, Sinterklaas.
Yeah.
He
has his helpers called Black Piet, and the lore is that they became black because they came down the chimney.
Right, that's what it was. Okay.
But what's weird is that he has very bright red lips and golden earrings and white gloves and curly hair. And
so he's RuPaul?
Yeah, kind of like that.
RuPaul.
And that makes you wonder, like, is this just a chimney? And it has been, the controversy has been going around for years.
That doesn't sound like somebody I want near children at all.
Now, and I thought we were racist. That sounds way worse.
So let me get this right, just so everybody knows. It's okay. There's Sinterklaas.
Yes.
He's the main guy, but he has assistants, and it's called
Black Piet.
Black Piet. Okay, and Black Piet, he's like, what's his name from Mary Poppins? He cleans the chimneys, right? Or does he go down the chimneys and give the gifts to the kids?
The chimney sweep.
Yeah. He helps Sinterklaas with the presents and things like that.
Okay, Sinterklaas, he's white collar and he's got his blue collar dudes going down the chimneys.
Bingo.
All right, but now because everybody's immature and everyone wants to virtue say what, for the past decade now, this has been called into question because Black Pete, even though he's a chimney cleaner, now it's all racist, and now the Dutch have to give up a tradition going back how many hundreds of years?
Oh man, 200 to 300, something like that.
Okay. All right.
But last year, and this was fun because I told you about the provinces, right? And our farmers retaliating against the government, things like that.
Okay.
So they had an anti-Black Piet protest last year, and the main welcome party for Sinterklaas, because Sinterklaas comes from Spain with his giant boat to the Netherlands with all the presents, blah blah blah. It's all in the lore. But this
hold on. Does an actual boat show up into the docks?
Yeah.
Holy, that's so cool.
A steamboat.
Oh man.
Like Steamboat Willie, the first Mickey Mouse cartoon when Disney was still cool. But okay, that was held in Friesland, and these anti-Black Piet protesters wanted to show up there and protest and do nothing because protest
ruin kids' day is basically what it was. Right, ruin little kids' day.
Yeah.
Right.
So they really fucked with the wrong province because Friesland is the most northern of northern provinces in the Netherlands. And seriously, the north of the Netherlands are very stubborn people who like their traditions. So what these guys did was just block the freeway. Just out of nowhere, they blocked the freeway. Like, hey, you want to protest in our city? Nah, how about no?
So what, the farmers just put their trucks and lorries up?
Yeah, they just put the lorries up so the children could have their party.
There you go. There you go.
And they lost their freaking minds. They were like, oh, we have the right to protest. Yeah, well, we do too. And we were here first.
You know what people don't get? Okay, you'd think South Park would be kind of like this average intelligence kind of humor. It's not. All South Park is making fun of the adults acting like assholes and dipshits and morons. And it's true. That would have made it perfect. Here's these little kids. They just want their toys. Has nothing to do with race. But you got a section of the adults, the idiotic adults, that got to have their their virtue signaling, their masturbation of their values. And they don't give a shit about the kids or the actual reality of who Black Pete is. I mean, how many were there? Was this a significant contingent? Is this shit that ends up in the mainstream media over there? Or is it just a bunch of college kids who are being dickheads?
Mostly they're college kids and virtue signalers. And yes, it did make the mainstream news. You know what the weird thing is? This all started out because last year I looked this up. But the main guy who started the anti-Black Piet protest was called Quincy. So I looked at the Quincy guy, and you guessed it, liberal arts major, blah, blah, blah. And he started all of this because some co-workers of his mom pulled the prank on his mom. And they were like, oh, hey, Black Pete's here. And that was it. And then for some odd reason, his mom called him up crying. And her co-workers were so mean to him. And then he was like, I'm going to start this protest because enough is enough. This children's festivities have to change for the greater good. And I'm like, really? Because your mom was pulled a prank on, now the entire Netherlands has to change? Like, piss off, mate. But everybody jumped on that bandwagon for virtue signaling.
So Netherlands politics is literally your mom gay? It's literally the internet. It's some kid on the internet saying your mom gay.
Yeah, probably, mostly.
Here, if you guys want the good news, and I know we always like to hear we want to get the silver lining. Quincy Garillo, he's an activist in the movement against Black Pete, as well as a performance artist. This guy's unemployed.
Yeah.
This is what he's known for. I know it's an insult to the kids and the entire Dutch people, but let me see if I can't find, because I just know this is all he's achieved.
I'm also a performance artist because you don't actually have to do anything to be that. So
hang on, he's got a
Twitter. So screw it, I'm one too.
Yeah, but us being on the stream makes us performance artists, right? Like, exactly. Entertaining.
Yeah, if you just go out in the street and sing one day, you're a performance artist. That's all you got to do. You put that on your Twitter bio.
Wasn't didn't Emma Solkowitz or one of these gals who was one of those fake rape accusers end up having to do like stripping and burlesque dancing?
She did
The mattress girl? Yeah, she did a porno.
Mattress girl. Oh, I was surprised about your video, by the way, Cappy. Like that prostitution isn't the future of the dating market.
Well, if
you were optimistic.
Well, I'll recap it very quickly here. For those of you who didn't watch the video, someone paid me about whether I thought dating would decay just into prostitution. And my point was, you got to ask where the bigger, more long-term money is. And I say right now, it, for the most part, is because of the student education bubble, and women are majoring in dumber shit compared to men, and they take on more debt. They all brag about, oh, women make up 58% of, yeah, but you're like 98% of the dumbass degrees, so you're all fucked. It's like, you might as well say 58% of the women are heroin addicts. Well, good for you. I guess that's progress in your world. But they also get more master's degrees, so they're debt laden now. But if the education bubble doesn't necessarily blow up, but deflates, and women get wise and they major in engineering or college, they just don't go to college, they go to trade school, or maybe, I know this would be crazy, they get married. Just,
how dare you?
Yes. But that, I think, is actually a temporary phenomenon. And when you look at how much money the government will spend just to keep you employed, or not employed, but you got free food, clothing, and shelter. Women really don't need guys. And so my economic analysis, because I don't have one way or another, is long-term, you will not see any, it will go away because women don't need, they don't need prostitution. They don't have to sell their bodies. They can flash cleavage. And people like Chris and his band of nerd gaming geekeries will watch him on Twitch and throw him the shekels.
Hey, I'm too cheap to throw them the shekels.
Well, you call them pay piggies, right?
Yeah, they'll get all them pay piggies out there. I mean, that's how Lauren Southern ever had fans.
What do you mean she never had fans? What?
I said that's how Lauren Southern ever had fans.
Oh, yeah.
Just thirsty guys like, oh, she's so smart. Because she wrote a 90-page book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
she wasn't the fall Molyneux.
I remember I ordered that book because just the title, I was like, oh, she's shitting on boomers. Well, I hate boomers. And it comes in the mail, and it's this little pamphlet. And I'm like, I've literally bought comic books with bigger page count than this book on politics this woman wrote for us. Like, when your book is so small you can't put the title on the spine, maybe you didn't really write a good book there.
Well, maybe she didn't even write it herself. Some pay piggy that wrote it for her.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Here's the thing. You sent it to me, Chris. I tried to get through it, and it was well written, actually. And but it was like so short. I'm like, you could have written a tome on this topic. And here you're right. It was like a 90-page something.
It's like the book was due Monday morning, and it was like a Sunday night, and she just got done watching Family Guy. I was like, oh shit, I got to do this book.
Yeah.
just kind of stayed up a little late, got it done.
Well, you'd be happy to know there's an entire section. Well, Vince, you got the chapters. There's 7 or 8 chapters on boomers alone in the upcoming book?
Yes.
Yeah. And they are not kind. They are not kind at all.
No, they're rough.
Yeah. Are they written rough, or are you just saying it's rough on them?
No, it's rough on them. No, your writing is very good and humorous. There's many points where I laugh out loud.
Good.
If you want to really mess with a boomer, this is my favorite thing to do. Shit on the Beatles. Now, I don't even really dislike the Beatles that much, but what I love to say to them is I'm like, the Beatles were nothing but a boy band. Okay, they were just a band.
Initially, yes.
The disposable pop music. Oh, but they did artsy stuff after that. Yeah, but that all sucked.
I was going to say, that's even worse.
So basically, you're sitting here 60 years later obsessing over your generation's Backstreet Boys. And I can't, as bad as millennials are, I don't imagine in like 50 years, millennials are going to be like, dude, man, Backstreet Boys and Korn, that was where it was at. Like, just never shutting up about it.
That's Xers, man. I remember, what was it, NSYNC?
Well, that's when I was in high school. That was all the rage. But yeah, I don't think they will. I really don't. And it's like, well, yeah, but the Beatles were the first to do it. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, unless you count all those black groups that were doing it, I guess.
But isn't music kind of disposable now? Like, once Napster and everything came on, like, you had to be vested in a band if you're going to buy a CD or an album, whatever its format. Now it's on YouTube. Like, bless her heart, my ma emails me and says, I have this thumb drive and it has all this great music that your aunt really loved. Do you know how I could put this on another thumb drive? And I literally emailed her. I'm like, Mom, you really need to Google that stuff because I'm not going to. I mean, that's some basic stuff. So I saw it today.
Oh, wait, it's already on a thumb drive.
Why it's on a thumb drive. So she didn't know she could plug it into the computer, move it to one file on the hard drive, get a new thumb drive and plug it in. So she looked it up, she figured it out, and she gave this to my aunt as a gift. And here are two boomers thinking this is a thing. I'm like, this technology has existed for like 15, maybe 20 years. Like, music has been free. And it's like, oh, well, thanks for this great album. And I was like, okay, I'm just burning people's CDs from now on. And apparently they'll still be a gift.
We had back then, I don't know whether you did that, Cappy, but we had, the Generation X had the famous mixtape.
Oh, yeah.
In the beginning, you would even listen to the radio until your favorite song came, and then you would hit record on your empty cassette. And then over time, you had like your favorite songs all on one tape.
I'm on the old end of millennial, so I remember that. I remember having to record stuff. I remember when the handful of friends had the decent internet access to actually get you songs off the internet when that was really novel.
Yeah.
So it's like, somebody got you a CD full of songs off the internet, but it took them like 9 hours to download them all.
You had to place your order a day in day.
Guys with the really good internet access would be like, I will make you a mixtape for $20 or something. Of all your like mix CD of $20 because it's going to take me all afternoon. That's a steal, really.
Do you remember the people that have their cars and in their visor they'd have like that sleeve of 1,000 burned CDs that they had just downloaded from LimeWire and Napster?
Oh, you know what I had, because like I got my first car around 2000, and I like maybe 2001, and I had worked at Pizza Hut to save up for it, and it was a old beater 89 Volvo, and it had a tape deck, so I had to get one of those things that was like, it looked like an audio tape, but it had like a wire sticking out of it that would plug into the CD player. So whatever was on your little portable CD player would then play through the tape deck.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was good. I remember.
And you guys ever make a tape for a girl with the double cassette? You know?
Yep.
Well, Jack, you're 12 years old. You don't even know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've done that before.
Waste of fucking time. That was labor.
That was. It's in retrospect, that's lame, and don't ever do that.
Don't ever do that. Don't ever make.
I actually had a girlfriend make one for me.
Oh, that's okay.
I know.
Well, you would appreciate. In reverse, you would appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, but every guy that did that for a girl was like, she didn't care.
Like, oh,
but I'm like, this is amazing. Yeah. You spent all this time recording this off the radio. This is great.
I guarantee you. You guys, when you guys move, you all got those boxes you never open, and they just kind of accrue and accumulate. And then all of a sudden, it's like going on an archaeological dig. Like, oh, what's in this? And then you open it up, and it's shit from 1985. And you guys got that stuff yet? No, Jack, you're too young. You don't even have anything from 1985. So
I have shit from 1970s.
Say again?
What?
I have shit from the 70s. You're kidding?
Oh my God.
Oh, nice.
I guarantee you there's girls out there.
Were they made of stone back then?
Well,
they were. These stone chiseled tablets and shit.
The Flintstones. The stork would play his,
Yeah, the little bird on the record.
Yep.
You think your job's tough.
Fred Flintstone, that's it.
Anyway, these gals, I guarantee you, they're going to go through their box that's made it through the strata of time. And they're going to pull out these tapes. They're going to say, oh, gross. Bobby Bobson in the 6th grade not even taped this for me in 1986 or something like that. And then they're going to throw it away. I would have
married him. Now I'm alone.
Bobby, also $100,000. Anthem, how are you?
Pretty good. You guys?
Nice cigar.
Merry Christmas too.
Wow. Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I kind of want a cigar now.
Yeah, where's yours, Cappy?
Well, one, I'm in an apartment and I can't smoke in my apartment. And then two, Yeah, I don't. Hey, wait till my house is built, dude. I'm going to have the nicest patio with the nicest view, and I'm going to light up a cigar. I left my last house over in the WBL. Nice. The last thing I did was have a cigar on my patio because it was nice to enjoy that. And the first thing I'm going to do when I get my house is christen it. I'm going to smoke. I'm going to bring my chair, put it on the patio. I'm going to smoke a cigar.
There you go.
When is that house getting built in 2040?
God almighty,
Hey, by the way, Donovan Sharp is in the house.
Oh yeah, I know. We can only have 6 people on at a time.
I'll dump out in a few minutes, and you let Donovan in.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm probably only going to be on for a few minutes.
Me too.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you guys came on. For we have a quick little happy Cappy thing. But we'll get Donovan on.
So are you going to build a house in the frozen hellscape, or are you going to actually decent?
Well, Chris, living in your dad's basement, and I give you guff.
Hey, no. I want to set the record straight here. I pay every bill except the mortgage, and I gave him the down payment for this house.
Chris.
So for the first 2 years, I used to tease him. I put more money in this place than you.
I'm giving you guff because you had a good podcast one time. That one time you had a good podcast. Yep. You're talking about the merits of living at home, not for financial reasons, though that's a fringe benefit, but more for camaraderie. Because you and your dad are like you guys are like roommates. You are father and son as well, but it was more like your dad needs you, you need your dad, and that actually made me think. I'm kind of like, because I've always been get the fuck out of the house, and you're a pussy if you don't live in a and then, but that was like that actually, I can see that some people, because I know other parent-children combinations where they're roommates, and it does work out, and it is mentally healthy, I think, to do that in some cases.
Well, I mean, I know people that quote unquote live on their own, but they're constantly hitting their parents up for money. Oh yeah. So I like to say, yes, I live with my dad. I don't live off of him. And yeah, I'd need a roommate. I mean, I don't make that much money. I'd need a roommate to live comfortably. I could go get an efficiency apartment and eat ramen noodles and be on my own if I really needed to be on my own, but why the hell would I want to do that?
Well, I know a Latina that would like to cohabitate with you.
So I've heard.
Yeah, well,
but I keep thinking she's going to get deported though. So
she's an American. She's American. It's so you guys don't know this, but I have a fan, and she kind of has a little crush on Chris, and these two are like perfect for each other.
Wait a minute, I thought she had a crush on TJ.
What?
Did she have multiple crushes?
No, I don't think, and no girl has a crush on TJ. Okay. Nobody likes Millhouse.
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. So she likes Nintendo. She's a big Nintendo girl. Beck is pro Nintendo. She likes skatery things. Their wit and humor is the exact same. Like they will post the exact same memes. They're antisocial. They're introverts. They're afraid when someone calls them.
Same person?
Yeah, it's almost like it's just a version of Chris, except she's Latina.
Longer hair.
Longer hair, different plumbing. But he's all the way in Philly, or not Philly, but Pennsylvania.
You're in Pennsylvania, Beckloff?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, about an hour and a half from Philly.
Oh, that's cool. I'm over here in South Jersey.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've been out to Jersey a lot.
Okay.
I could probably spit to the Maryland border from where I'm at. I'm at
nice.
Southern Lancaster County.
Gotcha. All right. You're out there by Gettysburg.
Avoid Noah's damn Amish.
Well, wait, you still over in Jersey there, Florian?
Yeah, but I'm going to move to Vegas at some point in the future.
Awesome.
But yeah, I mean, this is pretty. I mean, it's a bit gentrified the neighborhood, but it was just a couple of years ago. Somebody knocked on the kitchen window and said, "Hey, please let me in. Somebody with a gun is after me." And I think I never closed the window faster in my life.
Sucks to be you, buddy.
Yeah, and then one day later, I found like somebody had arranged there was a little platform next to where I live where you can overlook the Hudson River. And they had kind of like an altar there with some photos and like rest in peace, stuff like that. I don't think it was the same guy, but he did look a little bit similar. So I still wonder whether I doomed the guy, but that's life in Jersey City.
That's it. It's eat or be eaten.
Well, inevitably I will be. That as to what Chris was talking about. But yes, Chris, I'm not going to be living in a cold tundra. I will be wintering in Vegas. Hopefully Florian will make it there.
I will.
Yeah.
And where is it you're at again? Minnesota or something?
Yeah, I'm in Minnesota.
You know what's a fun thing to do in Minnesota?
Leave. It's a great state.
I was just going to say, pack up and leave.
Yeah, maybe shit in Ilian Omar's face on the way out. But yeah, I've been meaning to get out, but there's a plan. The GF is not done working yet, and we can do it right the first time, or we can do it wrong the first time and have to redo it later. But if things work out, I will be on the retirement path easily within under 5 years, if I'm not already there. But it will be wintering in Vegas, and then summering in South Dakota, and then traveling and visiting my favorite buddies out east, like Beckloff and Jack and Florian.
Jesus.
And
You bastard.
Chris Muir and Carrie Lutz. And then there's no one else to visit on the East Coast, so then I go and visit Atham on the West.
Beckloff, you and I need to hang out, man. I'm looking at your Twitter, and your stuff is awesome.
I'm actually not allowed on Twitter. That is my sidekick from my live stream has to do that for me. Like, I'll tell him what to tweet because Twitter IP banned the fuck out of me, and every time I try to get around it on different devices, I get nailed. So
Facebook.
I just gave up, and I was like, okay, Luke, you just run the Twitter for me.
Nice.
I'm apparently too spicy for Twitter. So
yeah, I have the same thing with Facebook. But like, how can I get into contact with you then?
There was only a web of inner things that made it that young people knew how to use.
Yeah, I use smoke signals. But no, Skype is the Beckloff. Facebook.com/the Beckloff. You could.
I don't have Facebook.
Even if you tweet at me there, Luke will pass it along to me.
Okay, I'll just do that then. Because this shit's awesome.
Are you taking off there, Florian?
I'm taking off.
All right, let us know when you get to Vegas. All right, take care.
Good to see you, Florian.
Take care.
Take care.
Merry Christmas.
And we'll get my other buddy from the East Coast on.
Donovan Sharp.
Is he there?
Hey,
Now, Cappy, you're not allowed in California, right?
Why am I not allowed in California?
I thought somebody sued you in California or something.
No, I could go to California. That lawsuit died out. That was I could go to I don't want to go to California. I prefer not to go to California. I try to avoid it, but it's kind of sad because there's some really to be a conservative or at least not a leftist out there, you got to be pretty independent minded. So there's some real cool cats like in San Diego, San Francisco, LA. Your girlfriend's out in that area, by the way.
I always joke I'm not allowed in Pittsburgh because I lived out in Pittsburgh for about a year.
Yeah.
And right before I was going to move, I got in a fight with this guy. And the cops ended up breaking it up, right?
Yeah.
And I then just moved, right? Well, the cop called me like a week later, and now I'm in, the other end of the state, and it's a big, long state, so I'm 6-hour drive away. And he's like, well, you need to come in for questioning. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that. And then I just kind of stopped answering his calls, and it just sort of went away. So I'm always like, to this day, I joke, if I'm anywhere near Pittsburgh, I better not get pulled over.
How did you, of all people, get in a fight? You're not a fighter. You're I wouldn't say you're a pacifist either, but you don't seem to be the type to get into fisticuffs or start it.
I did not start it, but this is somebody that had been a thorn in my side for a while. And it's funny because I'm a bit of a fat ass now, but I wasn't then because I was only like 20. But
4 years ago,
this guy was huge, and his strategy in the fight was to fall on me. That's literally what he did. Like, just kind of fell on me and had me pinned down.
Oh,
so
my God.
I'm beating the shit out of him as he's on top of me. My buddy, who pried him off of me, goes, that was the weirdest thing. I'd never seen somebody on the bottom winning a fight.
Unbelievable. Did you get any shots in from the bottom?
That's what I mean. I was basically beating the shit out of him from on top, from underneath him.
Listen,
my buddy's like, I've never seen somebody on the bottom winning a fight.
Yeah, like anytime I'm in a fight and I'm on top, I'm the one that's winning. Like,
but
I've
basically,
never been, I don't know.
He was basically the X-Men villain, the Blob. That was his strategy. Just gonna fall on, just nothing moves the Blob, and I didn't care. I was like,
he wanted to smother you.
Did you even cause him any damage? I mean, unless you get injured,
I'm pretty sure I did kind of fuck him up. But I know he had a big old black eye. I don't know, but I think I might have broke his nose. But it kind of happened right as I was moving, and I was sort of a little freaked out when the cop was calling me. So I was just sort of like, we're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. But that was so many years ago. I don't care anymore about that.
My brother, all over again, man. He used his weight against me all the time. I could never win from him until I got older, and then finally, I was strong enough to beat his weight.
That was all she wrote. See, I was the big brother. I'm the oldest of 5 children, and I had 2 younger brothers. The brother underneath me was 3 years younger. The brother underneath that was 6 years younger. I used to beat the shit out of them all the time, even to this day. Like I'll still like my brother. My middle brother now is 6'4". I'll still whoop his ass because he's a beanpole. So,
well, then you have to. You and Chris have something in common besides both being from Pennsylvania. You get in fights and you got to skip town after a bit.
Well, I was already planning on moving.
But not you. I'm talking Donovan.
Yeah, well, listen. Unfortunately for me, most times when I got in the fight, I never really had time to skip town because the cops usually got involved. And I had a really good lawyer. He got me out of some. Dude, I swear to God, my attorney. You probably have heard of him too, Aaron. His name is Paul Powell. But he is a slimy lawyer. I'm almost 100% sure that he had naked pictures of judges with prostitutes or strippers or trannies or something, because he used to get me out of the most impossible situations. But no, I wasn't smart enough to say, all right, let me beat the shit out of somebody and then get out of town. Nah, I'd stick around for 12 hours and then, hear a knock at my door and get a summons or be taken down.
Well, the cops never broke it up or something. It got broken up by a buddy of mine, but that guy then, I guess, went to the police, and he started this fight, but he then went to the police station afterwards and was going to be like pressing charges. And at this point, like, I'm back to, okay, well, I'm ready to move in a couple of days. So I then get a call like a week later from the cop that's saying, so-and-so wants to press charges. We need to bring you in for questioning. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And just, hung up on it. I mean, I'm a young kid and I'm kind of panicking. So I'm like, oh, I'm just going to pretend like this isn't happening.
Yeah, right.
And thankfully I no longer I had never went any further than that. But I always joke, like, I better not get pulled over in the city limits of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it's like normal loud, like starting a fight, and then when you lose, I'm gonna press charges against you.
Yeah, that's a bitch move. Listen, I don't care if you started it or not. If you are in a physical altercation where you're trying to beat another man, he's trying to beat you, and you lose the fight, and then you press charges, that's a bitch move. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, get out of here with that. Like I beat the shit out of you, and you're gonna fucking get out of here with that, man.
No, I mean that's like an unwritten rule, right?
This guy was such a scumbag. This man, he was this guy who was like he was a giant chicken hawk. He was obsessed with like the military and was a huge neocon, even though he was like 20. But he was too fat and disgusting and worthless to even enlist. So, and he bought all these clothes from like military surplus stores. This man had trench foot. He was so disgusting and so fucking nasty and didn't wash his fat fucking ass or his feet to the point where, like, literally he had gone to the doctor and the doctor basically said you had trench foot because he never fucking took his nasty boots off. This is how disgusting this guy was.
That's gross.
So I'm sure he like started pressing charges to the cops, and to be honest, I bet you he probably like suddenly the cops dug up a bunch of warrants on him or something. I bet that's what ended up happening to him. Because I did hear he ended up going to jail.
Well, you know what they say in the law? It's not what you will, at least on training day. It's not what you know. It's what you can prove, right? So you beat the shit out of a guy. The next day or whatever, he goes to the police station. Yeah, this guy, assaulted me. The cops, I mean, at that point, they don't even have any evidence. All they see is like a black eye, maybe a busted lip or a broken nose. What are they going to do? Take the guy's word for it? Be like, all right, well, if you say this guy beat you, then let's go and fucking arrest him unless somebody got it on camera or something.
Yeah, they're not gonna go 5 hours to go find me to question me and say, did you beat up this fat shithead?
Yeah, right. No, I didn't. All right, well, fuck it then. I'm out.
No, I did not. Oh, okay, well,
have a nice day. Yeah.
Our work here is done.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that.
Well, Donovan, how's your Christmas going along? It's good to have you back on the show. I know you're always busy, so it's kind of rare our paths cross like this.
Yeah, my Christmas has been it's actually been pretty good. I got some gifts, did the whole gift exchange and everything, had Christmas dinner. I was actually supposed to fly to North Carolina to see my family because that's where they all decided to gather today, but I decided not to. The girlfriend is a little bit under the weather. She's been under the weather lately, but today it's kind of taken a turn for the worse. She's been on the toilet longer than she hasn't been. So yeah, other than that, man, it's been pretty chill. I'm sitting here watching the Lakers and the Clippers and just all the Christmas festivities. How you guys doing?
We're just happy.
Good.
We're talking about how we didn't have to buy anybody gifts. You didn't have to do that either. It seems you got
not really. Actually, I did buy Devin I bought her the Emerald Lagasse pressure cooker air fryer. So and she loves those. Listen, any gift that I can give her that can speed up the cooking process or assist her in the cooking process, I'm all in.
That's a gift for you.
Well, she doesn't know that. Come on, man. Hey, surprise. Emerald Lagasse pressure cooker. Oh, thank you. I'm going to make all. And then last year, I think I got her an air fryer and an indoor grill. And she likes all that. She likes all
hold on. What's an air fryer? Does it uses hot air to cook something?
Listen, that's it. That's it, Aaron. You listen. That you got. That's it. You got. It makes the perfect bacon, and you see it on these infomercials. And like these cooking gadgets, they are the few things. That's the one category on infomercials that you see that actually does what it says it does. It's quite remarkable. So I figured, all right, well, the air fryer did the job, and the indoor grill seems to do the trick. So yeah, let's get her the Emerald Lagasse pressure cooker air fryer, and it turned out to be a hit. So we'll see.
I'm just picturing a Lamborghini with that many vowels and syllables, and that just happens to cook food or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, right.
So not to insult our listening audience, let's go ahead and nail out some of these super chats real quick. Atham, have you been able to go back to the original ones? Because I'm at like 726 right now.
Let me see.
I'll just go through them, Atham. If you could do that, we'll find it. Nonstop Dre 360, $2 says, when is the new book coming out? It's going to be late January. I'm finally, with Christmas and all this other crap and driving around, I haven't really been able to go full throttle on it, but I have been making really good progress. We're about 3 to 4 weeks out, so it will come out relatively soon. The real issue is editing. Adam Piggott is going to set me up with his editor.
What's the new book on? Is it some?
It's called How Not to Become a Millennial.
Oh, I thought it was a Cowboy Bebop fan fiction.
No. Of which, Chris, I still got that Cowboy Bebop thing you gave me like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I got you. Really nice, one of them really nice action figures out of Japan where you swap out the hands and faces and stuff like that.
Got the gun.
Yep.
Yeah. Ray John for $2. He says he licked his own ass.
That is a flexible man.
Go, Ray John. Let's keep paying the money.
If Aaron could reach, he'd never leave the house.
Oh gosh, I feel bad because there's someone that gave $25.25. Do you got this problem, Donovan? Where you're?
What are we talking about?
I feel bad when people donate super chat money, but because you keep scrolling, you can't go back to the original ones and read them off.
I get that with Streamlabs.
I do get that problem, but that problem is actually easily sort of overcome. What you have to do is in YouTube. What I like to do is I'll go to the I think it's like the control panel or the control board or something. I forget what it's called. And you scroll all the way down and it'll show the chat, but then underneath it says activity for chat. It's a link. You click that link and it opens it up, and it's a blank window that shows nothing but super chats. So no matter when they super chatted, you'll be able to see all of your super chats. Actually,
hang on, let me do this. What How do I do it again? I'm in my YouTube.
So go to your YouTube, right? Yeah. Go to YouTube Studio, and I still use Classic
YouTube Studio.
I don't fuck around with the beta or the new the new shit.
Oh, don't worry, they'll change it next week on.
They
yours.
will.
Yeah, they'll eventually force you to go to the lesser.
Yep, they will.
The
I'm
less
going to be that
functioning
old
one.
curmudgeon. Listen, I'm going to be that old curmudgeon. I'm going to use the old thing. Until,
I stuck with Hangouts until they finally shut it down.
Yeah.
I liked Hangouts. It worked fine, and they're like, "No, fuck you. You can't have it no more."
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm here. What settings you say?
Okay, so what you want to do is on your live events, go into your live event. That's the one. You can actually edit your live events while they're live. It's actually quite weird. But you go to your live events, then you go to your control. Oh, what the hell?
Hold it. I go to live events. Where's live events?
Should be.
You go to youtube.com.
Yeah. The studio. I know. I'm
YouTube.com. There's my first mistake, right?
Settings.
No, go to
Cappy's
events.
like, damn it, I was on my Pornhub account.
Hey, Chris, let Donovan talk. All right, where am I going now?
You're going to, on the left-hand side, you'll see dashboard, video manager. Then you'll see live streaming. Under live streaming, you'll see stream now and then events. If you click on events, you should see the event. That's.
I don't see live streaming.
Are you on the new YouTube beta studio?
No,
or
I said
classic?
YouTube studio. Hang on, let's just do this all over again. YouTube.
Okay.
Golly. This is that overhead I was talking about before,
Yeah, man.
guys. Like, how much time do we piss away with this shit? Okay.
Too much time, dude.
I got to go to the studio.
Yep.
So I go to my little icon here. I click YouTube Studio.
Yeah, YouTube Studio.
All right. Studio.youtube.com.
Oh, wow. Okay. What do you see on the left-hand side of your screen?
I see dashboard, videos, playlist, analytics, comments, subtitles, copyright, monetization.
So go all the way to the bottom, and there should be an icon at the bottom that looks like a guy is running into.
Oh, yeah.
a
Creator
door.
Studio Classic.
Yeah, so click on that.
Oh, we're going back old school.
Yeah, man.
I love how they ask, what's wrong with it?
Jesus. It's new. Fuck. That's what's wrong with it.
All right. Now,
So now do you see where it says live streaming? Yep. So
Okay,
go to
here
live
we go.
streaming.
Donovan Sharp's YouTube service.
There, yeah, exactly.
All right.
Then go to events.
Events.
And you should see the event that we're on right now.
Yes, I do. I
You should
see
see it
right
in there.
now.
So click on. So what you should do is there should be a little picture that says control room or
live control room.
That's it. Go there.
All right. Wow, I remember this.
Yeah, man. So scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see the chat in real time. Just under the chat, you'll see something that says and I don't have a live thing going on right now, so I can't really. I don't really know what you're seeing, but you should see right there where the chat is at. You'll see that scrolling in real time. Then it'll say chat activity or show activity.
Open a new viewer activity. Open in a new window.
There you go. That's it.
All
so
right.
you click that open, and that will show you all of the super chats. from the very
Oh,
start.
here we go. My goodness, Donovan, thank you so much.
No problem, dude. I got
All
you.
right, let's get through this real quick. Nick Schuliner for $1.99. Merry Christmas, gents. Check out Doc's new podcast. That's safetyphd.com. Doc David Perodin. Nonstop Dre for $5. I like getting his GI Bill money. But how will Punjab get the girls if he doesn't update Windows in YouTube with useless features no one asked for? He won't. You never will. I don't know why we always have to have Windows 10 and constant updates, but I'm sure somebody gets promoted and they think that's going to get them the girls. Phil for $4.99. Merry Christmas, Cappy. By the way, too bad you couldn't incorporate a true coffee shop beard into that book cover. When do you think it'll be ready to buy? Again, late January, and I will be basically starring in my own cover because I couldn't find any millennials who wanted to pose for it. So I'm going to dress like a millennial along with two of my other buddies, and we're gonna. I got it all set. I got a gal who's gonna get a unibrow. You guys remember Dodgeball? Remember Dodgeball?
I do. Yeah.
The ugly female on the bad team.
Yep.
I'm gonna have her dressed like that.
You know it.
Yeah.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have a hair bun. I'm gonna go as the effeminate soy boy, and then my black buddy Richard, because you have to have a minority. And
Absolutely, you have to have the
not,
token black guy. Otherwise, you're
racist. And he's gonna have a loud, douchey fedora with checkered glasses, thick rimmed checkered glasses.
Make sure it is an actual fedora and not one of these Tribly hats that these geekazoids call a fedora.
Well, shouldn't it be a Tribly hat, one of those pin hats?
Well, it should, but if that's what it's going to be, then call it that, right? Like instead of, because a lot of guys say, I sport my fedora, and it's like one of these. No. A fedora, Dick Tracy.
Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah, there you go. See, there you go. You know,
get an anime body pillow and a katana to go with the fedora.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Oh my God! To go with the Tribly. Listen, real men, quote unquote, wear fedoras. Men who think they're real men wear Triblys because they want to be classy for a lady.
Watson had a good remark about that. I was like, what's the difference between like Cappy wearing a fedora and one of these neck beards? Watson looks at me. A real man. Like, nice.
That's a very good question. You know what? It's interesting. I actually shaved my neckline today. I started to grow a neck beard. I was like, oh shit! All I'm missing now is the fucking Cheeto dust. Let me get in the fucking bathroom and clean this shit up. Somebody might mistake me for a beta male.
Yeah.
All right, Charles. Hang on, let's get through this, guys. Here, Charlie Mac 2525. I want to say Merry Christmas to all the Cappy Cappites, Cleary DT, the Great One, Beckloff, TJ Vince, the Man, Dr. David Perodin, Chad Elkins, Atham, Nick, Bacon. Hey, the Bacon. He got kicked off all the media platforms. So let's plug him now. TheGoddamnBacon.com. Check out his podcast.
That's really the website?
Yeah, go to TheGoddamnBacon.com.
That's awesome, dude.
It's good stuff, yeah.
Here's a nice Instagram.
Just to warn you, he doesn't know about dropping 30 cents a month so he can get a host that will let him record for longer than an hour. So he'll have an episode with 3 separate uploads, and you can battle that wall if you'd like.
Sure.
Then we have Mary Jo, this guy called Beck T-Loff, and everyone else have a great Christmas. $2 from BFCZ8 Nap, watching Die Hard and sipping JMO. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.
By the way, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It is not a Christmas movie. It was a movie that was made during This is an unbelievable debate. We always have this debate. Right? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? No, it's a movie to play around. Listen, Rocky 4, Rocky fought Drago on Christmas Day, right? Merry Christmas from Moscow. We're here live in Moscow for Balboa versus Drago. Nobody calls that a Christmas movie. So if Rocky 4 is not a Christmas movie, then I submit that neither is Die Hard. Die Hard's a great movie, not a Christmas movie.
Well, if you don't want to be in the spirit, that's fine, Donovan. I'm very libertarian. You have the right. I am so open-minded. I am so libertarian. I even allow people to be dead wrong on things.
Well, you know what that means? Yeah. You know what that means, Cappy? If Die Hard's a Christmas movie, you have to stop watching it.
No. Oh, hold on.
You gotta wait till after Thanksgiving to watch it again.
Oh, you fucked up now, man. He's like, wait a minute, hold on, you've crossed the line.
I remember seeing that in the theaters when I was 13. Do you know how formative that was? Like, just to be a man and like, here's what I want to become. And now how far that's gone, like step on glass for a woman. Fuck that shit. Nope. I'd be getting out of that Nakatomi Plaza through the fire escape quickly as fucking possible. Grab my kids. Like, well,
oh my God,
maybe I will get full possession. Let me go back to the thing.
Donovan, have you ever been on Masculine Geek? You know all these movie references from the 80s. Like that would be an awesome show.
Well, here's the thing. I am a child of the 80s because I am 42 years old, right? Like I was born I was born in 77, so I'm 42, I'll be 43 in August. So yeah, I grew up in the 80s, man. I actually saw Rocky 4 in the theater. And for like a year and a half, like Ivan Drago haunted my nightmares. And then, weird thing. Well, here's the thing. What started to happen was I started liking the bad guys more than the good guys because it like we all watched Transformers. Those of you guys,
Megatron.
Yeah, listen, Megatron was cooler than Optimus fucking Prime. Soundwave was cooler than
Soundwave was awesome.
Soundwave was he was the shit, dude. Laserbeak, Ravage, Rumble, Frenzy, like. The Decepticons were so much cooler. Like G.I. Joe and Cobra. The Cobra Commander was so much cooler.
Cobra Commander did nothing wrong.
Way hotter.
Just the one-liners.
Right? The Baroness was hot. She was banging Destro. Like Destro from G.I. Joe is the coolest fucking bad guy ever. And so I decided, wait a minute, Destro is the coolest motherfucker I've ever seen. I'm team bad guy. And that is when I warmed up to the idea of maybe liking Ivan Drago, and then of course the nightmares proceeded to stop. So that was probably the start of my red pill journey at the ripe old age of 11 years old when I started liking bad guys.
Well, Cappy, I got to bail out. Thanks for
All
having
right,
me.
sounds good, Chris. We'll see you later. We'll bring in
Chris.
we'll bring in Cynic in Chief. Oh, there we go.
Very good.
Donovan, did you cry when Thanos died in the latest?
No,
Avengers?
I didn't. And the reason for that, I almost cried when Iron Man died. Because Iron Man is, and this is funny. I talk about this on my show a lot, and I want to know what you guys think. There's no such thing in the real world as a Tony Stark, right? Like Tony Stark, good-looking, billionaire genius who's also good with women. It just doesn't happen. Right. Right. He's relatively, it just doesn't happen that way. If you're a billionaire genius, you are not good with women. If you are that good with women, you are not a billionaire or a genius, right?
You only get so many points for your character in Dungeons and Dragons.
Dude, Aaron, oh my God, you're speaking my fucking language. That's what I'm saying, man. Like when you're building, like when God, the creator, whoever you want to call him, when he made humans, like RPGs, you only get so many points that you listen, strength, aptitude, intelligence, et cetera. Tony Stark got all of everything. That's why we all love Tony Stark. But yes, when Iron Man died, I shed a tear on the inside. Devin was actually sitting next to me, and I was so alpha. The tears started going down my eye. I was so alpha, I literally sucked the tear back up into my eyes. And,
that's nothing. I'm so alpha, I converted it into raw testosterone and shot it in my veins.
I swear to God, I went to the bathroom stall. I fucking took like 800 cc's of testosterone, shot it into my veins. My cock grew to 8 feet, and I felt no pain or no shame. So yeah, that's the long and short of that. Yeah.
All right. The best gift, Nonstop Dre, $362. The best gift is money, so I can buy what I want. Laughing out loud. Damn right, the best gift is money. DJ Aftershock is in the house for $2. How is that banker that became an artist doing? Oh, he I gotta be careful what I say here because he went down such a path. He's very unique and he could be easily identified. He is. You know what? Let me look him up. I remember his name. Let's look him up.
The banker that became an artist? That sounds like a movie.
Yeah. Back in my day, my first book when I was an analyst, this guy was get every loan approved, get everything. I mean, this is just a scumbag. And then all of a sudden the FBI raided his client. And then this guy, along with the rest of the management in this bank, got the federal government recommended they leave and no longer work in banking. And now, and then he was doing artwork for Jesus. And he's all over the internet. I can't mention who he is, but yeah, this guy is a scumbag. Let's go here.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to run. Merry Christmas to you all.
All right, guys.
We'll see you later, Vincent.
Brother.
See you soon, Vince.
You got it.
God, I can't even say it. I can say this. He's written a book that has no sales. This is a guy who's he's desperate. He ain't going to retire. This is one of the boomers that call us the financial crisis. This is one of those scumbag bankers, and like all scumbags, they will go run for politics or religion to hide behind it. This guy chose religion.
Oh, wow.
And so now he's
that guy.
Yeah.
That guy. Okay.
Lord forgives, Lord provides. That
all that mumbo.
Mary's a porn star or something like that.
No, then I'd be proud of him. I would be proud of him. And then you're like,
hell, at that point, yeah, right.
You're not really. You guys ever listen to? You guys ever listen to O'Shea Jackson?
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about Ice Cube?
Well, no, the guy in Poland, becoming a doctor.
Oh,
O'Shea Jackson.
Dude, no. No. Me and O'Shea, no, dude. We had a
falling out.
Yeah, man.
Really?
And, oh yeah, dude. I don't fall out with anybody. I haven't worked with him since, and I never ever will. I did this and I haven't talked about this since I did the response video. And I did a response video.
I mean, I like him. He hasn't done anything to me.
Listen, I mean, I'm not going to besmirch anybody who works with him, but he's a guy who always, when he works with other black people, everybody he works with, he's had a falling out with at some point or another, whether it's Obsidian, who lives like 15 minutes away from where I live here in Philly. It was Obsidian, Alan Roger Curry, Angry Man, like everybody that's ever worked with him on YouTube or online has had a falling out with him. And I actually, it's interesting. He actually put me on to YouTube. And like, because, he listened to me when I was doing my SoundCloud. He's like, yo, get on YouTube. And he told me, you're going to be better than all of us at this. I'm like, who is all of us? Oh, Black YouTube. Well, little did I know he was right. Like, I'm the best. Like, listen, I'm going to toot my own horn here. I'm the fucking best at what the fuck I do. Like, nobody does it better. Nobody on that side, quote unquote, of YouTube does it like I do. Nobody matches my content. Nobody matches my production. I'm relatively humble with my audience, but when I'm talking about O'Shea, I'm good, and I know I'm good, but I didn't realize how good I was. He knew my talent before I did. Anyway, long story short, I wrote for the guy for, good God, man, I wrote for the guy almost for 2 years, and I wrote a couple of ebooks for him. And I told him this time last year, it's interesting. So this time last year, Anthony Johnson of the 21 convention said, hey, I'm thinking about doing a Black 21 convention. And I think he was probably saying it tongue in cheek. And so I shot a text to O'Shea. I said, hey, like, Anthony Johnson's thinking about doing a Black 21 convention. O'Shea lost his shit. He said, tell that white boy to stay in his place. I guarantee it. If he tries to do a Black 21 convention, it's going to be problems. So he calls me up and we discuss what's going on. And I told him, I said, look, dude, I said, I like the 21 convention, but if you want to do a Black 21 convention, you got to beat him to the punch. And so I told him, I said, look, dude, he's doing a 21 convention in Poland in the springtime. That's in your backyard, man. Yeah. I've told Anthony, listen, he'll be more than happy to take you along, show you the ins and outs of putting on an event. And O'Shea told me, he kept telling me, no, I don't want to do this. I'm like, dude, what is the issue? And he finally he's like, I just don't trust white people. I don't want to work with white people. I'm like, well, okay. I didn't talk to him for 6 months. Then I did a video called Why I Stay Silent on Black Issues. And in that video, I actually mentioned him. I said, O'Shea Duke Jackson is as good as they come. I said, but his audience, for whatever reason, they hated me. Maybe it's because I talk like I'm a white guy. Maybe it's because I have light skin, whatever the case may be. And I thank them for being on listen, thank you for letting me on your platform, but that's why I don't mess with the Black quote unquote manosphere anymore. Little did I know, I'm getting text messages and messages from everybody. Yo, O'Shea is online and he's roasting you right now. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Fine, whatever. So then guys still kept texting me. I'm at dinner with my girl. So finally, I watched 3 minutes of one of his videos, and this dude was just telling lie after lie after lie about me. It was unbelievable. And I was pissed, but I couldn't go on and run because I'm not good at the whole going back and forth. I'm not good at nigga shit. Like, that's just not what I do. I wasn't going to get down and roll around in the mud like he likes to do all the time. So I did a video. I said, listen, man, here's what he said about me. Here is the proof that proves why he said was absolutely not true. And then I said, look, I'm going to wash my hands of this, and that's going to be that. So then O'Shea did another video. I didn't even look at the other video. That was that. And because of that, I will never, ever, ever, ever work with that dude again. That dude is a fucking snake. He's a goddamn dude. He's a lion, snake ass, you know what. And everybody that works with him, they've had some sort of falling out, but they still go back and work with him. Not this guy. Fuck that dude. Fuck him.
He hasn't done anything to me, so
if he's cool with you, I'm cool with you. But I'm never gonna be cool with that dude again.
Only reason I brought him up is he did a video about a pastor who was banging all the women in his mom's church. That was the only reason I brought him up. And it was a fucking hilarious episode.
I'll give you this. O'Shea is listen, for all of the falling out we had, that's a funny son of a bitch. That dude He makes me laugh, but
I binge on him when I have to make my drive from Vegas back to Minneapolis.
Oh, perfect.
What is very weird and odd is a lot of my memories of Utah have O'Shea in the background because I've downloaded and converted his podcast MP3s.
Oh,
and I'm
that's
just
great.
binging on O'Shea on Highway 15 all the way back to the
Oh
Twin.
my God.
So I have nothing against O'Shea, but he did talk about, and then I was just gonna say this pastor is the same kind of thing. And that he taught, Chris will talk about the dead branches of Christianity, but he's dead.
Where do you fall on Christianity? Speaking of which,
my dad was a Lutheran pastor. I hate
What about
it.
you?
Me, I hate it. I hate Christianity. I hate religion and just nothing with Christianity.
This is the thing. I hate religion, but something in me knows that there has to be an uncaused cause, right? Right? Like,
no,
we didn't just
with you. I'm
get
with you
here.
there, but especially with the health scare that I had, 2-3 months ago.
What happened?
There was a chance I had liver cancer.
Holy,
there was something wrong with my liver, and it turned out to be no. You have a perfectly great liver.
Okay, all right.
And the bump we found you've had since you were born, and the side pain you're feeling is probably stress. And then when I chilled the fuck out, the stress went away. And so. And not that I hadn't pondered these issues before, but it's like, well, you might die. Okay, well, let's maybe think about this stuff. And not one person could give me a straight answer, give me straight proof. Even chaplains and people of the cloth, like people who have masters in divinity, who should probably have an answer. Like, here's someone, who's looking, and no one could. I remember Beck commonly podcasts with Cynic and Chief, get in here, unmute your mic, and we'll because you would probably know this. Pastor Tom, great pastor, wonderful. I said, I want you guys to provide a secular argument for Christianity. And this was before any of the health scares, because I was curious. I'm like, okay, you want to convert people to whatever religion, you should then operate from you got someone who's secular. Well, what arguments that don't, it says here in this book. Well, that book was put together and assembled 300 years after your dude died.
I swear to God, man.
And so I'm like, give me a secular argument for Christianity. And they're just like, well, why would you want such a thing? I'm like, no, okay, you guys are not thinking. This is why enrollment, attendance, subscribership, whatever, in Christianity is going down. It's here's our Bible, and here's this dork wad with a flannel and sandals on with thick rimmed glasses playing an acoustic guitar, and he's your pastor, by the way. And I'm like, look, what do you got? Give me the proof. Give me some kind of real. Give me a logic. And the best arguments that came from people were people who were not pastors. They were not. They were just people who were real believers. So that's where it was. But I can being part of the church, and as a little kid, I can spot the fake Christians a mile away.
Oh, dude. Well, listen, all Christians are fake, though, aren't they? Right? Like, I remember I saw this bumper.
95%.
Listen,
I'd say 95%.
I saw this bumper sticker. I remember it said, Christians aren't perfect, just forgiven. Right? And that, to me, I was like, wait a minute. We're not perfect. We're just forgiven. As if to tell us this is the reason why we walk around with our noses up with a holier-than-thou attitude with a stick up our ass, right?
Like Argentinians? I'm kidding.
No, absolutely. Listen, that's a bad joke, but that's absolutely true. But yeah, like, this is what Christians, I don't know, man. And Christianity has changed and mutated so much over the years. You don't really know what's what anymore. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of Christianity. I'm not a fan of religion. I can't say there is a God, and I can't say there isn't. Who knows? Maybe I'll have an epiphany when I'm 94 years old or something like that. I've really, really soured on Christianity.
I'll tell you this. I have found a lot of relief in practicing Stoicism. Not that I wasn't a Stoic beforehand, but really reading Marcus Aurelius,
Seneca.
Yeah. That it doesn't give you an answer, but it teaches you how to respond to not having an answer. And there I found more peace and calm. Yeah, I found more peace and calm and serenity in that than, like, hey, give me your secular explanation. So I had been forced to go to the church until I was 13. I don't need to go back. And I am more than willing and welcoming to hear any arguments people have, but it's shockingly silent, crickets chirping when you say, all right, everybody, give me it, and nobody has anything. It's like, haven't you, like, in the past 1,000 years, 2,000 years, maybe thought of this? Like, how do we bridge that gap? Like, if I want to sell my shoes to people who wear sandals, maybe I should think, well, why do they like sandals? What is it with the sandal people?
It makes them look like Jesus, dude. I don't know.
No, I'm saying not actually meaning people from the Middle East in 100 AD that wear. I'm saying, you know, how do they drink Pepsi? How do I get them to drink Coke? That kind of thing.
Right.
That's it. Let me just hang on.
Question, right?
What's that?
It's the unanswerable question. Like,
Yeah,
you cannot know if there's a God until you've seen God. It's Occam's razor right there. Like, take away all the divine, what's left?
Well, Jack, don't you know many people have seen God? Don't you know about the Holy Shroud of Turin or our Fatima, that whole deal?
Jesus was on a grilled cheese sandwich.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, the burning bush and the party. Like, honestly, think about this. I don't want to derail the conversation here, but think about this.
Oh, you've already have. But go on.
Listen, think about this for just a second. If we heard of, I don't know, a 23-year-old female, right, in Egypt, who is with child, but she claims to be pregnant, but the father of the child is God, would we believe her? Of course we wouldn't. That's ridiculous. If some old guy with a beard showed up with a couple of tablets, said, yep, I climbed up a mountain and the gods etched these commandments. And by the way, when I was down at sea level, the Philistines were after us, and they came running. They came running toward us. God parted the Red Sea. Would we believe that guy? Of course not. Those are the stories that really make me hesitate when it comes to. And I know I'm probably going to hell for this, right? Watch all of this be true, and when I die, because I'm probably going to die when I'm 50,
and you're doing it on Christmas, on
dude.
Top of
oh my God, God's going to look at me and be like, dude, for really? Real? Like, what are you doing here? Like, you understand you're headed that. Anyway, I just have a hard time believing the burning bush. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't buy it because I don't want to go to the seventh circle of hell. It just seems very unlikely that those things would happen. Just physically.
I'm just trying not to do bad. That's about all I got.
And Jesus. It is one of the reasons I liked Peterson when he takes all those Bible stories that Donovan just mentioned, and he just rips apart the metaphor. Like, okay, what is the actual meaning of all this? Because of course a bush won't talk. Of course the Red Sea won't be parted. So what is the actual lesson we can take from this? And then he talks on for 2 hours.
I think what a lot of people don't realize, because I was always cynical of it, especially as a kid, and I carried that cynicism through all the studies and all the forced readings and all that. What people don't realize is that to attain divinity or enter your way into heaven, I think the way to do it is to smoke a cigar in your apartment you're not supposed to. I think that is the true way. And you can really get to the first. You can be God's right-hand man if you have a "don't tread on me" flag. I think if you got those two things, you're pretty well.
What if you rip the tag off of a mattress? Are you screwed?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. You go straight to hell for that.
All right. Well, I'm fucked.
Nonstop Dre says you should do a show with Linnell Young. He's cool. All right, I'll have to check in with Linnell Young. Joshua Landrum for $2 says, happy holiday, gents. Well, happy holiday there, Josh. Good to hear from you again. Nonstop Dre for another $2. Where's the diversity on this stream? Just kidding. Laughing out loud. Ice Nose for $5.56. Hey, Jack, be a good Dutch patriot, and when you get some downtime, sing the song Silver Vloot about Piet Hein. Piet Hein sing Naam klein. Do you know what that means?
I know what he means. I mean, it's a very old children's song about Piet Hein, and he's the Dutch guy who kicked the Spanish Silver Fleet's ass.
Okay.
And I don't know the complete song, and I'll spare you the listening to my singing. This is why I started drumming, because I can't sing. So I'll spare you that. And that's the main reason why people started drumming. Like, they're either too ugly to stand in front or they can't sing. Well, I couldn't sing. But it's a Dutch guy. The 80-year-old war, or no, the 80-year war, I believe this was in. And Piet Hein, well, he crushed the Spanish Silver Fleet, and they made a song about it. And it's a children's song.
Okay.
Maybe one day.
Is that historically accurate? Was there a guy called Piet Hein? Okay.
Yeah, I have it right here, the wiki page and all.
Oh, I could download a podcast and listen to that.
Yeah, like the Dutch Spanish War is pretty awesome. It literally what was it again? Like they call it the 80-year war, but there was a parlay of like 50 years or something like that. So they counted everything and made it 80 years.
Here's something. Nonstop Dre for $2. Thoughts on the female Fight Club coming out? Is there a female Fight Club coming out?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! I've heard this. I certainly hope not, man. Like we listen. We got the female Ghostbusters going on now. The Star Wars.
The last Charlie's Angels flop, and that was originally about women, though.
That was originally about women, right. The whole Star Wars has been hijacked by feminism. Like, dude, a female Fight Club. I don't know. I have a problem with MMA. Like Holly Holm could have been somebody's hot wife, but she decided to throw hands in the ring. Amanda Nunes could be somebody's hot wife. She decided to fight. Justine
is there
Cyborg.
Is there an actual female Fight Club coming out?
There are rumors that there might be. Ocean's 8 was an abject fucking disaster. Like what the seriously? Come on. Like, how else were they going to break into whatever vault in Vegas? Of course, they were going to have to fuck everybody. Like, what? You actually thought they had skills other than?
Hold it. You did see it, Jack. You went to see it, huh?
Which one?
No, I'm sorry, Donovan.
Oh, no. I've never seen Ocean's 8. I know that it's an abject disaster because it's an all-female cast. Okay. That's just by default. That's just what it's going to be.
Like, we need to fuck the security guard, then the manager.
It's like Ocean's 8. Ooh, how are we going to get past the security guards? I don't know. Let's show him some leg, give him a blowjob. Ooh, like, dude, like you could probably see, there's probably an Ocean's 8 in the porn section. Like, for real? Like, come on, man. Like, you guys remember Ocean's 11? That was a cool fucking movie.
I remember the original one together.
They robbed Vegas
and the Rat Pack.
Exactly. There's no such thing as a female Rat Pack. There's no Oceans. Oh, fucking hell.
That's all right. I'm glad we can make you happy there, Don.
They just fuck everything up, dude.
They will do it, by the way.
Fu Safor, do you think family is an overrated concept? No, I think actually it's the only thing, frankly. But we've done such a horrible job at preparing men and women for it that it's an abject failure now. We need starvation and real poverty to get people back to valuing what's important. Ray John. Oh, now we're back to where I got that. Charles Mack for $10. This is a Pennsylvania only Merry Christmas shout out. He's right. There's a ton of people from Pennsylvania. Shout outs to Donovan in the 215. Shouts to Beckloff in the 717. And myself in the 412. Merry Christmas. Nonstop Dre for $2. Funny hearing the Great One roast you on a pod. Oh, but the Great One always roasts me on a podcast. He always.
Who's the Great One? What, Wayne Gretzky roasted you on a podcast?
The Great One. You go to Sin Social, like Cynical Libertarian Society, but it's sinlibsocial.com.
All right.
Be prepared for a bunch of racial epithets, some of which may even be thrown at your way, Donovan.
Awesome.
But it's a really good podcast. It's really good, especially when he talks about his he works in the staging and lighting industry.
Okay.
And just the stories. He's a hard blue collar worker.
All right.
And his stories about dealing with millennials showing up drunk or not showing up at all. Definitely worth it. And then he always rips on me on the podcast. Stephen Ochoa for $2. Feliz Navidad, amigos. Thank God we have Atham here. Atham, what does that mean? Can you translate that for us?
It's a song.
I'm going to tell you.
Damn, Alex Trebek is a hot girlfriend. Jesus Christ.
Nonstop Dre, Donovan and Aaron, my two favorite YouTubers to watch. Thank you,
Hey!
Nonstop Dre.
Awesome.
Nonstop Dre 360s. I'm happy the Marines taught me stoicism at 17. $50 for $4.99. Clarity test on Santa Claus or Jesus Christ. Dude, it's $25 a piece. You got to go to assholeconsulting.com and send
there it is. There. Let them know.
Ray John for $2 Canadian. Beer or booze? Gentlemen, let's start with you,
booze.
Jack. Beer or booze?
Beer or booze? I would go for booze. I'm not a big beer guy.
Atham.
I'll take both.
Okay.
Why do I have to choose?
Santa in Chief, where are you? You off? Or
gin.
What?
Absolute gin.
Oh, you don't get a headache from gin?
Oh, no. I mean, only if you get the good stuff. There's some terrible gin out there, but a bottle of Hendrix is fantastic.
What about Plymouth gin, Sailor Strength? Have you ever had that?
That's second best.
Okay. Then it highly ranks in your opinion, though.
Yeah, it's got a more of a traditional gin flavor, but it's a bit sweeter than normal gin.
Well,
it makes a good martini.
Yeah, you and the Great One will get along well. He has Plymouth Sailor Strength gin only. He does not drink anything else. And Donovan, what do you got?
Whiskey. That's the only alcohol I drink.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. I mainly do like every once in a while I'll splurge on like a 160 bottle of whiskey, $1 whiskey. But when I'm trying to just pass the time, I'll get like a $30 bottle of Knob Creek or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, and I don't drink to be social. I drink to go to sleep. Like 2 shots and I'm good.
I drink to get hammered. I don't know about you guys. But
Yeah.
No, man, I didn't. I haven't had a real drink since I think Salt Lake Sit Down, and after that, I was like, oh yeah, I remember why I don't drink.
Yeah.
Here's a pro tip for you guys. Speaking of gin, Bombay Sapphire Gin is like I don't want to call it nature's Viagra, but that is the first Viagra. Bombay Sapphire Gin will give you, dude, like I damn near killed my girlfriend. Like it was like, dude, at one point she's like, all right, just stop. I was like, fuck, I could have gone all fucking night. And I was dead. I was fucked up, but my dick would not. I'm like, dude, on the Viagra commercials, they say at 4 hours, you're supposed to call the ambulance, but fuck it. Let's keep it on. But yeah, Bombay Sapphire Gin, man, if you want to fuck your girl, that's a pro tip from yours truly. I'm not charging anything for that. Bombay Sapphire Gin.
Thank you. Jack Donovan's butt plug for
what? I'm not looking at the chat. I'm sorry. Say that name again.
Jack Donovan's butt plug 000 for £2
Holy shit.
30 years war, Jack. Juan Cabrera, $1.99. Atham, Rosca de Reyes is around the corner. What's Rosca de Reyes?
Oh yeah, it's some sweet bread we eat on January the 6th.
Is that the meme you sent me where it was the Rock's face and he was like looking up at the sky because he had the Rosca? He walked into some kind of bread store.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, why is it? Is it just smell good or what?
It's freaking good. There's not a single Mexican that I've ever met that said that they don't like Rosca de Reyes.
They got it in Lake Tahoe or?
Yeah, we got Mexican.
What is it? Is it gin, tequila, whatever?
No, it's bread.
Oh, Donovan, I put a link in the private chat. Could you confirm if that's the Bombay Sapphire Dry Gin? Because now I'm curious.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Jack Napier is going to make like the porn star Jack Napier and fucking destroy some vaginas here. Let me check this. Here.
Speaking about that, by the way, it's almost been a year since you and I first talked.
Yes, it has, man. It has. Time, dude, time goes by so quickly, man. Yeah. It's been, what happened, and I don't want to take up everybody's time here because I got to go here in a few minutes, but my channel and my show took off like a rocket over the summer. It's been
this summer?
Yeah, this past summer, man. Like I went from, dude, at the end of June, I had just under 5,000 subscribers, and I have a lot more than that now. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, how it did that, but yeah, I haven't had time for anything. I'm just trying to ride this train, trying to capitalize, strike while the iron's hot. Yes, that is absolutely the right link. Yeah. So it's funny. I think that Bombay Sapphire
Gin that expensive.
Well, I think it's tinted blue because if you don't get laid after drinking it, those will be about the color your balls will end up becoming. So only drink it if you absolutely positively know you're going to get laid.
In my experience, it's the 4th best gin.
Wow.
What's third?
Santa and Chief. Do you know Hooghout, the Dutch gin?
No, I haven't had any of that.
It's called what?
Hooghout.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I thought he said hose out, like the hose are out or some shit like that.
By the way, I love the way you spelled hose on that sign. By the way, it's very sophisticated.
Yes. Do you love the Creole? Yeah, that's what I'm starting to do now. Is we don't love these hoes spelled HEAUX XS. And sometimes I'll say Negro please spelled NEGEAUX please. So trying to keep it YouTube friendly. Trying to keep
wearing a monocle, things like that.
Oh yeah, but of course I have to wear the monocle. Change my name to Donovan Sharp.
All right, Ice Snows for $2. Pete Hine paid a visit to my hometown back in 1623. So I think Ice Snows is a Spaniard, maybe. He's a regular. He always comes into town. A nonstop Dre for $5. Question for all of you: would you rather be a genius in a dumb society or an idiot in advanced society? Why? Who has it worse? I'm curious. I know the correct answer to this.
In a dumb society, or
Cynic in Chief. What do you think?
The problem with being a genius in a dumb society is you're the only one who's that way. And being a dumb person in a genius society, everybody kind of pulls you up. So yeah, you get treated patronizingly, but it's still, you're better off.
Donovan?
Yeah, I'd rather be a dumbass in an advanced society. One thing that I figured out about dumb people is that they're easily impressed by anything. They're in a constant state of euphoria. Oh my God, a touchscreen phone. Holy shit, this floating glass. Like people who, and again, Aaron, you can attest to this because girls in Vegas are all like this. Hot girls in Vegas are, dude, they're as dumb as a box of fucking rocks, man. You show them a simple card trick, they think you're David fucking
You
Copperfield.
stayed on the strip, man. I don't go to the strip. I'm in Henderson.
Geez,
I go hike.
Aaron,
I do not go to the strip.
You're a smart man because, dude, I'm telling you, the collective IQ of every hot girl on Las Vegas Boulevard is like 5.5.
Okay, but how? Here's a question: how much is that they're in their party mode?
Oh, Jesus fuck.
I mean,
man.
if you got them all and they're going to church or getting their ice cream or the milk the next day, come on, you could. I have a buddy. He plays in the Australian Bee Gees band, and the performance that comes in after him is the Thunder Down Under. These girls are drunk. They're crazy. They're
stupid.
But they're acting dumb but they don't act like that all the time. They're just excited because they're going to see some tens.
I don't know. Nah, man. I don't know, dude. Like, I've spent a lot of time with some very attractive women in Vegas, dude. And one time I had to explain how the government works to one of them. Like I'm not kidding. Dude, I'm telling you, this is
perfect date.
And these girls are the happiest fucking girls ever because they don't know shit, right? Ignorance is bliss. Well, this is why hot girls are always blissful because they're fucking dumbasses. So I got to go with B, man.
His dick just fell inside me.
I'll pick A.
You rather be the smart guy?
Yep.
I
like suffering.
Oh, I don't like suffering. I'll be the dumbass. I don't give a shit.
Jack?
I'm going with Atham.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we already are, man. Like we already
know.
There.
that should answer your question because this shit fucking sucks. I go B all the way. Plug me back into the Matrix. Don't make me rich. Just famous. Forget it. I'll be Scyther. Throw me back. I don't want to.
No, man. I remember being ignorant of all these things like Jack, you're dumb and you can't learn and blah, blah, blah. And then I started reading books and all of a sudden like, hey, wait a minute. Then I got to college and I was like, hey, did you read this? Ever heard of this? No, I haven't read it. But, well, communism works. We just haven't tried it yet. I'm like, really?
No.
This is college? Really? I'm getting out of here.
Girls are dumb. Dude, the hotter they are, the dumber they are. It's...
I know. I had the one physical 10 and I dumped her after 2 dates because I just couldn't stand her. I was like, fuck, shut up.
God. The first 10 I ever dated, I thought I was lucky. And then I started getting these chronic headaches. I was wondering why. It's like, dude, it's because you're a fucking idiot.
I ever tell you guys about the girl the biggest crush I've ever had in my life. Biggest crush. Yeah, I was in middle school. I've told other people, I'm sure, but I was 6th grade. And this girl I had the hugest crush on, and nervous around her, don't sit next to her, avoided her like the plague. Through a seating arrangement in the 9th grade, I had to sit next to her. And then we had a friend in common, and I ended up hanging out with him at a party one time. And high school. 9th grade is high school. And she opened her mouth, and I realized for 3 years I was worried about nothing. And this girl was so dumb. I felt shame, even at that young age of 14. Like, how did I let this person affect me this much? And to this, Facebook, through the powers of Facebook, ladies, just don't smoke cigarettes and drink a lot of whiskey. Okay, that's Jesus all I gotta say. Just
wow.
Use moisturizer and.
After listening to Donovan's show often enough, I am now 100% sure that, ladies, we are pulling the long end of this stick. We are houses, you are cars. We are winning.
I gotta bail out, guys. It's I'm speaking of whiskey. I gotta hit the whiskey. I gotta drain the main vein and get ready for tomorrow's show. But thanks for having me on, Aaron. Everybody in the chat. didn't have the chat open. But
let's get together one of these days before it's too late. We'll do that financial advice show.
I'm actually, I've been meaning to talk with you about that. I'd actually like to involve you on the west side of my multi-city tour this coming summer. So yeah, we'll definitely
hit me up.
Touch,
we'll
man.
figure it out then. So.
You the man, dude. Later, guys.
Merry Christmas.
All right, Brett. Merry Christmas.
All
right.
Merry Christmas.
Brian Dean for $5. What do conservative thoughts have with that other women don't? A burning bush. Stephen Ochoa, $2. Original Ocean's 11 is on Netflix. Great film. Ice Nose, $2. Speaking of stupid societies, Viva Wyoming. Hey, Jack, have you been to Wyoming?
No, I've never been to the
Atham, have you made it that far east?
I have.
Where were you in Wyoming?
I was driving from here to Denver.
Okay.
So I went through Cheyenne. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the southern end. All right.
Right.
And then Santa Ana Chief, have you ever been there's no theme parks out there, I don't think.
There's one in Idaho, but I haven't been out there yet.
Okay, but you haven't. Yeah, go ahead. I'd recommend driving through.
Right.
Just don't drive through when there's any Canadians. If you can avoid the Canadians, especially Canadians who are in the Navy, just avoid them like the plague.
Canadian Navy.
The Navy.
Sounds like there's a story there.
Oh, I just did for 12 years and then I'm out.
You were there for 12 years, really?
Yeah.
Right now,
12 years, a month, and a day.
Wow.
One sec here. I'm pulling out the chat while we're here because I noticed you guys got a vibrant ass chat and I don't want to miss it.
Aaron,
you're gonna have to forgive. I'm kind of half cut.
Oh, that's all right.
But-
What's going on, Anthem?
You know who's in Wyoming right now, though? Jonathan from MLD.
Yeah, I heard he's down there. I don't know why.
What's he
There's
doing
nothing
in Wyoming?
I've been through there.
Family.
Bring him on and he'll tell you.
Family.
Let me hang on. Let me email. Let me see if I can't find.
Hey, Rich is in the chat as well.
Yeah, Rich Cooper's in the chat. Once one Canadian gets in, then the infestation just grows from there. You got to spray it with bleach and then all of a sudden you're driving in kilometers.
They're almost as bad as
Canadian
Mexicans, right?
dollars.
Yeah, heaven forbid everything is done in multiples of 10. You guys need to 3 thumbs to a foot.
I have to agree with the Canadian on that one.
Hey, guys from countries that didn't put a man on the moon. Okay, go do your math somewhere else. All right.
They keep milking it. That's like a wife who's like, "Hey, 6 months ago, I gave you that blowjob." Like, thanks, lady.
What was it you saying that Americans? I think you've worn out World War II or something like that.
I don't know if that was me. Mine, I was just noticing they were saying all of the alt-right Americans that are doing that political thing, they're all Canadians. Like Gavin McInnes and what's the other dude? Crowder. Whole bunch. And they,
Wait,
and
is he Canadian?
Yeah. They're both from Montreal.
Oh, I didn't.
That's why they're insufferable.
Oh,
Yeah. I've been all in the eastern half of Canada, and outside of Toronto and Montreal, Canadians generally are pretty nice. And go in either one of those two cities, and they're just terrible.
Yeah, I can't argue. Although in Toronto, they're at least passive aggressive, so it's it's fine as long as you just pretend it's sincere.
I forgot to shoot Rich the link. And we'll get Rich.
Oh, that'll
on
be
here.
good. So, out of you guys, how many here has been watching Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, going through the McTiernan Christmas classics?
Not much.
Not Chris Beckloff. We just argued with him and Donovan. They're of the wrong opinion that those are not Christmas movies when they obviously are.
Dude,
Of course, they're not.
Lethal Weapon is like a Christmas Carol with weapons. Ghost of Christmas Past was like the Air America CIA guys. Ghost of Christmas Futures, Danny Glover. The Ghost of Christmas Present is that dude he jumps off the bridge with. It's literally like the Scrooge storyline. It's not quite as funny as when Bill Murray did it.
Okay, Ryan, how many drinks are you in?
Dude, I've been drinking all weekend. Or like for the last 3 days for the Christmas thing. But we've been having so much food, I can't get past this like standard buzz, and it's annoying as hell.
You remind me of a good friend who I used to have who just could not get really drunk. He drank, look, seriously, this guy drank a bottle of scotch and he was still standing like he was sober. Like,
Yeah.
Either his mental state was like dizzy and he could fake it, or at a certain point it just didn't affect him.
I can see that. Honestly, I see that. We did Fleet Week last, I remember, down in South Korea. We were in Busan. And it's like where 10 or 11 countries get together and kind of flex about who's got the bigger dick. We all go drinking together. The Australians, they didn't last 20 minutes. The Brits did all right. The Americans, no offense, guys, but you drink Budweiser too much. They're not used to it. So the Russians were the only ones that gave the Canadians a run for their money.
What was the drink of choice? Vodka, rum? What do you guys?
Available.
Oh, okay.
Anything?
Yeah, it's one of those events. There was Russians were doing vodka. The Canadians were doing moose milk. If you guys haven't seen that, that's like melted ice cream and then the leftover of any of the double duty liquors you got. It's kind of like eggnog, but with steroids.
Does anyone need to get out of here? Because Rich wants to get on, and I don't know how much time he has with his family and kids.
Aw.
I'll hop off. I'll be in the
Are you
chat.
sure?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Well, you have a good Christmas there at them.
Yeah.
And say hi to your sister
caving.
and your girlfriend for me,
yeah.
all right?
See you soon. Hey, Chad. Pleasure meeting you.
How's it going, Mr. Napier?
Doing very well, Mr. Portlandia. Hey, Rich in a robe?
Dude, I was
ho.
so glad I was half tempted to do a rope myself. I put on a shirt for this.
You know, sometimes
need
you're just
to
done banging, you don't bother putting clothes on, you just throw a robe on.
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
Why do
Merry
I have
Christmas.
a feeling you're going to be like Barry White? You're going to start breaking out in the song.
I think I need to get a nicer robe. I feel like John's outclassing everybody in the robe department. I don't
Yeah,
usually
you heard-
broadcast in a robe, but why the fuck not? It's Christmas.
Yeah, if you're
heard
putting your
about
money
that
towards a
rope, right?
mortgage, that's fine too.
Mortgage, what's that? I haven't seen one of those in a while.
Oh, that's right. You're all paid off now, boy.
When'd you pay yours
Cappy,
off there, Rich?
Cappy knows. Fuck. Oh, as early as you possibly can. I remember the
Well,
first...
I know, but did you pay yours off recently or a while ago?
No, dude. Like the first year my business had hyper growth, it was like I'm just getting rid of all debt.
Did you save your mortgage payoff statement by chance?
No, I just didn't give a fuck at that time. I guess. Why should I have?
No, I framed mine. A buddy of mine, he
Really?
paid off his. His girlfriend framed it for him and everything. And
No, I don't see it as
awesome.
that big of an accomplishment, to be honest with you.
I just like not being in debt. That was like the
Yeah, debt
monster-
sucks. Like if you can get rid of debt, you got a lot more freedom and
Well,
flexibility.
at least you guys can pay off the mortgage and be done with it. Like in the Netherlands now, you have the property tax. So you paid off your mortgage? Oh, well, now we're going to get the worth of your house. We're going to multiply that by X percentage. And
Yeah, I
that's
hate to break
when
it to
you-
you, Jack, but that's everywhere around the world. We
Oh,
Yeah,
pay
God,
property
wow.
taxes
It's here too.
insane.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
you
they
gotta pay,
always
like-
overinflate the value of your home because then it's more
Yeah.
taxes.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
$7,000 or $8,000 a year in property tax here.
Oh, man, I
I pay more on home
appreciate it.
insurance than my property taxes every
Oh.
year.
We just
there
had
is an
Modern Life
American
John
thing.
up in the on the deck, but then he disappeared again. So
What's the oh cool. So they've upgraded StreamYard so you can do live comments in this tab now, eh?
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Skippity doodah. Skippity day. Are you
Well,
coming
how was
on
your
for
Christmas,
Rule Zero
Rich?
on Saturday?
Huh?
Are you going to come on for Rule Zero on Saturday? We're doing like a year-end wrap-up.
oh, was I invited or?
I don't know.
I think you just
Roland's
were.
throwing out a couple of names. I think that yours was out there.
Yeah, a call. What today's Wednesday? I think I got it open. Shoot me a link or
Yeah, no
remind me and but
Yeah, Christmas was good. You know, it's Canada. It's cold as fuck. A lot of eating and drinking and being merry. Where are you at? I guess you're not in Vegas, right?
No, I'm still
back with
Minneapolis.
family? Yeah.
Yep. I'm staying for once. Staying in the Twin Cities helps me because I'm trying to bang out this book.
Yeah.
And with the cold and the
what's
weather,
the new book on?
it's called "How Not to Become a Millennial."
How not
Ouch.
to become a millennial. Ooh. When's that going to be out?
That's gonna be out in about a month.
I'd like to have you on for a broadcast to talk about it. I think that'd be a good conversation.
Okay, I'll send you an advance copy and all that.
Don't. I won't read it.
You won't read it? Okay.
No,
never
I only
mind.
have time for
I
freaking
will.
like audiobooks now. I even got Black Label Logic's audiobook because Jack narrated it, and I
Thank
just
you.
didn't even have time to get through that either, right? Like
Well,
I
how
do
much-
these monthly book clubs every month in my guys' community, so it's like I always try to find these books that are like, like really deep on a subject. Like we're doing this one now on Company of One. I don't know if you've seen this book. It's called Company of One. I can't remember the author's name, but he's basically discouraging you from building any kind of business that has scale and mass, and it's got a lot of weight to it. It's like just run it by yourself. Kind of like Cappy's life, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It is. It's a company of one.
Yeah.
Have
So
the
it's like a
greatest,
cottage
most-
industry kind of thing they're pushing for, or
That's just the way to go, man. Like, like as soon as you start including employees in your business and extra contractors and layers, I mean, like one of the things that really stood out, it's like overhead is the death of a business. And it's like a lot of them can't maneuver and adapt to changing market conditions that well. And that's how so many of them get wiped out.
So is it better to be a solopreneur?
I think so, yeah. I mean,
Well,
it's not as glamorous. Like, you don't get to have a building with your name on it and shit like that, right? But who cares? I mean,
it's paid off. Your mortgage is paid off. There's a building with your name on it.
Yeah.
It's also the complexity. Like, the worst thing you can have or add to your company is another human being.
Yeah.
You just the legal problem.
So inefficient. They're so inefficient, and there's so many fucking problems that come along with it. You know, like, even aside from the legal problems, I mean, you get staffing issues all the time, right? Like, everybody's fucking each other. Some chick is pissed off at somebody else. There's an HR issue. You have to let somebody, go because they suck, and you got to deal with a labor board after that. Fuck all of that.
Yeah. No, there was some guy, he sent me a request on like this company, and he was explaining, and I'm like, whoa. Rich, I think you even talked about it because you like tanks, right? You're into.
I like anything military, dude. Like World War II segment. There's a really good documentary on Netflix, by the way. If you haven't seen it, on the Spitfire, you should check it out. It's really good.
Okay, I'll watch. But anyway, the shorter version was this guy's building this most overly complex machine with employees, and it was he had to go through the federal, I don't know if it was FAA or the Food and Drug Administration. I'm just like, dude, you're at a certain point, your time becomes more valuable than the money.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get to that point, like, okay, you can make millions, and if you can by yourself, do it. But if you gotta fucking babysit people and machinery and lawyers and contractors, you ain't got no time to go and do whatever the heck you want.
Well, if you're micromanaging like that, though, it doesn't sound like you're leading well.
Well, you don't have time you don't even have time to have a family, right? I mean, like, you can't raise kids if you're starting up a business in like a hypergrowth phase.
Well, Sheryl Sandberg says you can have it all, according to her.
Of course she can have it all. She's probably got 3 or 4 nannies on staff, probably at least one for each kid if she's got kids, right?
Middle-aged white woman, never give up.
Yeah.
Get with all the boys.
Karen with the fucking sun hat, right?
Yeah, I feel bad for real girls named Karen.
Why? What
did you call them, Ryan? The Sun Hat Mafia?
The Sun Hat Gods. Yeah, the Sun
Hat Gods.
May I speak to the manager, please?
Yeah.
That haircut.
Well, the whole thing is just, I can't believe. I get it. Back in the day, it used to be once a girl has a husband and kids, like, there's nothing else you can do. She's apex.
Yeah.
So a lot of those women get kind of bitchy. But now girls are doing that, like, before they even get the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, talk about jumping
the funniest part is when they feel threatened because their name actually is Karen, and somebody calls them that.
Somebody help me here. What's the Karen thing? Is this what we call old women? What?
It's like Chad and Stacy, but it's the middle-aged soccer mom.
Yeah, she's the one that took the kids. That's the first meme I think that was about it.
She's got the hat. She's got the kids. She's got the little sticker on her back window, with vacancy available, looking for a fucking fill-in model.
Oh, okay. All right.
Haircut that's like short that goes.
Yeah, she'll go to like an Arizona fucking retreat with her girlfriends and post all over social media about her little sun hat experience.
She goes to wineries.
Yeah.
May I speak to the manager haircut?
Yes,
yep.
Yes.
That's the one.
If you look up online, the Karen took the fucking kids. There's awesome memes.
Okay, all right.
I gotta Google that now.
My favorite one is the one where it was like Prince Charles, I think it was, with like a bicycle wheel.
Was it Karen? Karen took the kids.
Karen took the kids. Yeah, Karen took the effing kids.
There's
like hundreds of them, so I'm sure at that point you'll find half of them.
Images.
Some of them are a little bit actually kind of sad. You can tell somebody's like, "Yeah, I'll just put my divorce in a meme."
Oh yeah, look at this. She got the glasses. Yeah,
wow. It's everywhere. Karen's taking the kids.
Yeah.
There's a picture of a bald eagle flying off with a gazelle. Karen took the fucking kids.
Oh yeah.
This is already turning into the best Christmas ever.
This is the Christmas stuff I love. I can't believe how many people were spurging out over Christmas on Twitter. That guy was just amazed. Like, how could you not be happy and stop bitching for one day?
I don't really get Twitter these days, man. It's gotten to the point where I've like minimized, my following down to next to nothing. I don't get any notifications. I don't my DMs are closed, but it's still a pain in my ass for some reason.
Rob has turned that into his advantage. He's he's riding the wave, man. He is making fun of everybody.
It seems to be the only way to go about it, is just to poke at the flick boogers at them every once in a while.
Yeah, just roll
so
it out.
They lose their shit.
Honestly,
what I noticed last week
for me, it's just they just need attention. Like, just so this guy exists.
Last week there was that reporter that got her ass smacked. You remember her?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And people lost their shit, man. I should I did one post and it reached something like 160,000 people. I've only got 8,000 people that follow my page, right, on Facebook, because all these white knights and feminists lost their shit because, she got her butt smacked. And I didn't say it was right or wrong, but don't fucking go on about you having your fucking power stolen from you when you got like thoughtery photography on your Instagram with Chippendale models naked and just pictures of your ass, right? But I mean, the outrage squad lost their minds.
It's like everybody's surprised. Oh my God, she was a hypocrite? This is the first time I've heard of a girl doing
Shocking.
This. Shocking.
Imagine my shock.
I think
that's probably the best use for Twitter.
If I'm not mistaken.
The best use for Twitter is salt mining. I mean, Cappy's figured that out, but you just
I don't know
something.
what you're talking about.
I've tried that. I even did that. I put a post out like last week where I was talking about you guys keep saying there's too much drama here in this space, but like you guys won't engage anything I put on there unless I'm dunking on like ADJ or something. So don't tell me what you don't want. And then sure enough, I did one of those right afterwards, like 10 times the engagement, and I just retweeted myself. I'm like, yeah, fuck you guys. Insatiable bastards.
Insatiable bastards.
But you're right about that. Every time I make fun of somebody, it gets retweeted and liked all over. I'm like, okay, so this is how this works.
Yeah.
So Ryan,
you need that silver bullet that either is captured or retweeted by a Karen, perhaps, but a very well followed to get that rage, because I've lodged a couple. Ryan, to use a naval term, torpedoes into the magazine. But one I got.
Wow, you're good with that jargon.
Yeah, I mean,
you got some tea time. Clearly,
I must have read a book by Vince Flynn or something. But it was the Mary Sue. She got a hold of something and she made me go viral. There was something else within the gay community that made me go viral, and I want to learn.
Gays like you're so pretty and well kept.
Who?
You, the gays, people that are in the LGBT. That's the G, isn't it?
Don't
forget
the
gay.
G.
Yes, and I'm very pretty. They were not fond of me.
Cherry with the you people thing here. Like, am I canceled tomorrow, or what's the deal?
Holy shit, dude! You got $100 Canadian super chat there.
Yeah, it's like $3. No, I got to get through it.
That's about what is that?
That's
Ryan?
$80,
That's about like
isn't it?
75 bucks roughly.
Yeah, 30 cents on the dollar. I think we got.
Well, I've been advocating like Small Dead Animals and Stefan Molyneux, or whoever your favorite Canadian, internet post person is. Like, well, I say go ahead and make donations now if you're an American, because it is 30% off. I mean, if you really want, your bang for your Canadian buck, now's the time to go and help out a Canadian, because it's. Come
do some hunting in Northern Ontario. The tourism market loves it.
Mm-hmm. Let me get through some of these super chats so we don't get too far behind. Don't forget, tomorrow is the star of Kwanzaa. Ray John for $2 Canadian says, why is the Republican Party full of old white men? Well, they're the ones who make the money, want their taxes lower. That's the simplest version. Ice Nose for $5.56. Hey, Ryan, speaking of the Canadian Navy, sing North Atlantic Squadron. If you all get some downtime, we need music to fill the void. Is that a standard song within the Canadian Navy?
That sounds like an East Coast thing. I was a Pacific boy, so this one's kind of confusing me. But I got a buddy who still sails over in Halifax. I could phone him up and find out what the hell he's talking about.
Find out what he's got. Gladium Spiritus for $2. Alone on Christmas, boys. Thanks for the stream. That was the whole point of it, so I'm glad we could provide a little entertainment for the orphans. Ray John for $100 Canadian. Merry Christmas, fellas, and happy holidays. Well, thank you very much, Ray John. And then Ryan, try this Korean wine. Did you get that link there, Ryan?
Oh, soju?
Let me pull it up.
Hold on a sec. Is it in the chats?
It's got
Soju's
big. I'll put
and
it in
finally,
there. No, soju's like a rice wine thing. I found that out because they sell them in the grocery stores right beside the bottled water. And since you can't read
so like
fucking Korean.
Then.
Well,
Absolute
here, I provided
hilarious
the link in the private chat.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I'll grab that.
Let's see what we're talking about here.
Nonstop Dre for $5. Thanks for your contact. You gave me great ideas for my own operation.
Wait a minute. If I didn't know any better, I think he's trying to say something.
That looks like a dick bottle.
I think that was.
What is that? Soju? Is that the soju that you were talking about?
No. Soju is clear. It's like water. So we did like a 13K hike when I was in Busan that one time. And we were so dehydrated from drinking the night before, but there was 5 of us, and none of us wanted to call a cab because then we'd be the pussy in the group. So we all just trudged on. And then I got to the top, and I was so dehydrated. I grabbed my bottle, gave it a big swig, and it turned out it was soju, which is like 20% alcohol, and it just burned like fire. And I've never been able to drink it since because I was such an idiot. But I don't know why they sell it beside the bottled water. It makes no sense.
Yeah, those bottles do look like dicks.
Oh yeah, and then we get to the top of the hill with the damn with the monastery we went to go see, and then we saw like a bus station right in front of it. So we just basically were completely idiotic and went up the wrong side of the mountain.
Well, how much of a how high was the hike?
I don't know how high it was. I just remember it was 13K from start to finish, while hungover, and I was in like flip flops and board shorts. Like we were in no way prepared for any of this.
Which country was this in?
This was in South Korea, Busan or Pusan. I still don't remember which.
I think it's Pusan.
Yeah. Did you like, like run a lot of game at port?
Dude, that was the only thing that kept me sane. That was so much fun.
It was like 2-3 weeks at sea and then you're at port, or was it even longer at sea?
Yeah, well, that trip was 189 days, but usually we always had a 3-month sail in October for TJX, where we'd stop in San Diego for a couple days. And then maybe 160 days a year, high readiness, off and on, like 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out, 3 weeks in, 4 weeks out. So that's the whole reason I did game, was just because like I can't do 3 dates and then, hey, I'll see you in 3 months.
Yeah.
Like I had to either do it now or never.
Okay, so it was all the same night lay then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never slept with a girl on the second date. It's always been either the first or never.
Right.
So I don't really know what these guys talking about taking her to the dance are talking about. Wear your finest sneakers, bring a pipe, massage your beard. Chopsticks, chicks love chopsticks.
We're talking about making girls mix tapes in the 80s. Like,
mixtapes.
Amount of you write 7 books in the amount of time it took you to make one tape.
Holy shit.
Man,
Everybody made a mixtape back then, though.
I remember a story where I was with
CD
this girl in a CD store, and she was so expecting me to buy her a gift, which I already did somewhere around there because it was her birthday or something. But then I bought a CD for myself. I remember this, Motorhead. I bought Motorhead for myself. And we got into this huge fight because I bought a CD for myself and not for her. Damn, man. I was...
You would be surprised how common that is. I had a coaching call the other week with this guy that's been with this chick for about 11 months, and she freaked out on his ass because he didn't buy her some handbag when they went to visit his family for what do you guys have in November? It's Thanksgiving in the States. Ours is a month before. So she just lost her shit. Like, it's pretty common, right? Like, I've heard this story a number of times.
I'm so glad.
That's a big red flag. That's like a see you later.
Well, how old was she, Jack? Because I had something similar happen, but this girl was 25.
Oh no, she was back then, I believe 15 or 16. I was young.
Oh,
when
okay.
This shit happened.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I found this.
This woman was 32.
Jesus.
That old.
I hear those stories, and like sometimes I think, man, I wish I knew this when I was 20. But then I find somebody who's like, yeah, I'm 50 and I just found the red pill. I'm like, oh, I might be thankful for being 30 and 29 and finding knowing all this.
My mom is pushing 70, and she ditched this dude Gary she was dating because he was too boring. And like, I'll tell you stories about my stepfather.
Wow.
Like, he was like the worst ultra Chad for her ever, and then she left him, and then she's like, yeah, this guy's just not as fun. I'm like, you mean as opposed to the guy that? Actually, maybe I shouldn't say that.
We know.
Won't go too far into the childhood. We'll start drinking more and crying more. So
I got a buddy. It was the same thing. His mom, divorced his dad. And then she was dating Steady Eddie, and literally he was a plumber. He was you had a plumber. You had his house paid off.
Yeah.
They enjoyed each other's company. Then, what's a baby boomer Chad name? Like Derek, Lance? What do we?
Butch.
Gordy. I think
Charlie.
That's a Canadian specific one, though.
Ryan, quit making love to your microphone.
Just let it happen.
Ryan, you got to get one of these things, dude.
I do, but I don't.
I gave you that damn screw-on thing.
Yeah, I've got it. I just haven't done it. I'll do it. I keep
You guys,
Jonathan
wants to get on here. so
Gordy.
hop out.
Oh, you're gonna hop out, Chad?
Yeah,
I'll
Jonathan
see
wants
you.
to get on.
I'll
I'll
get
see you
get
guys.
my own life.
See you,
channel.
man.
Later.
Are you finally putting him on?
Yeah, I am. I'm glad somebody sent him the
Let's see
link.
if he's
What's
got
up,
a robe
Modern
on.
Life,
You have a
John?
robe on too, or no? I got the fucking robe squad.
And he's muted.
You're muted.
He's
dude.
muted. I don't know if he knows that or not.
He'll figure it out.
I gotta know what he's doing in Wyoming.
He's like an
So what's the
guy.
Gordy story then?
Well, so she met Derek or Gordy or some guy, and he was a little bit younger than her, and he was like a surfer, and he had all this money, and she dumped, Paul the plumber, for Derek, and sure enough, Derek, pump and dump, and all of a sudden he's gone, and then she tried to get back with Paul. Paul's like, "Fuck you," and this gal was like 72.
The entitlement is real, man.
That's real. Hear me out?
Yeah.
Well, can you blame her either? Because I mean, it works 90% of the time. She just found the one plumber that knew the princesses in another castle.
That's a nice robe, Rich.
Yo, whoa,
Nice
whoa.
reference.
You're coming in way too hot,
Thank
John.
you. Yeah, lower down your gain a bit.
Lower your game.
So, I have no idea how to do it. This mic is fully
You can go down by half.
okay.
Operational. It is fully operational.
What are
Tell
you doing
everybody
in
what
Wyoming?
you're doing in Wyoming. Let's do an audio check with that.
How about this if I stay back? Is that
That's better.
Yeah,
Much better.
yeah? Okay. No, I'm on the military base. My brother's in the Air Force, and I don't want to. In Japan, what they do for Christmas is they go to KFC, and that's depressing as shit. So I came out here. I love Wyoming. I know you guys bad mouthing it, but man, people out here got manners. It's nice. There's no
There's nothing
traffic.
to bad
Wait.
There's nothing
What town
there.
are you in Wyoming?
Bro, the most happening place ever, Cheyenne, dog. Population
Cheyenne.
58,000.
Cheyenne.
Holy crap!
Cheyenne is not Wyoming. That's the cosmopolitan area. That's where the women aren't fat.
No, there's plenty. I've seen some
Well, there's
ham
an Air
trucks
Force
over
base
here.
there. They gotta be at least somewhat feminine, right?
Well, it's also the
Maverick
capital,
doesn't wanna fight
Wyoming.
with
So
that.
a lot
Yeah.
of money and politics happens there.
There's
Plus,
there's a lot of try-hard hipster girls out here. They're like trying to be cool because they're like, no, they're from Wyoming.
Oh, are
so
these
like
the witch-
trying to be cool. And they're
The
like,
which ones that Cappy was telling me about?
like,
Well,
it's
you're
not
also
bad.
only about 30 miles from Fort Collins. So what a lot of people will do is they'll commute all the way down to Denver from Wyoming because you don't have to pay the income taxes. But Fort Collins is not that far away, and so you'll get a little bit of the hippie chicks like, "Oh, let's go to Wyoming." And like, if you want to see Wyoming, go a little bit to your west and go to Laramie.
Yeah.
And then you let me know how you feel about Wyoming, because that's real Wyoming.
Well,
You
just look at
ever
John's
been to,
background of his video. That's essentially Wyoming.
You ever been to
Nothing
Kurt
there.
Gowdy State Park, Aaron?
Which
We
state
mostly drove through. We
Aaron,
went
Kurt
through
Gowdy
from
is the
Washington.
state park. It's like has like mountain lions and you can hike. There's a frozen waterfall at the top.
Yeah,
No.
southern end of town.
I don't know. It's about an hour from here.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I did. What did I do? I did Lander Peak.
Mhm.
I did. Then I go into the Rocky Mountains down in Denver. No, I didn't do Kurt Goldie.
Gowdy.
Gowdy.
Yeah.
No, I haven't hiked it. I haven't hiked it.
It's pretty fun. It's a good time. But like, I live in Tokyo, so it's just like 24/7. Go, 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 go,
Right.
go. So coming here is just like, I can drive slow, I can walk
Are you
slow.
like right downtown Tokyo?
I'm 10 minutes away from Shinjuku, and Shinjuku is the largest train station in the world, and it's like one of the most central hubs in
so you're right
Tokyo.
down. Yeah, so
So
you're
I'm in
That'd
like
be awesome.
the creme de la creme of Tokyo, but I found like a little outskirt area. I pay like only like $800 for my rent. I found a really good place.
That's not bad. You're not in one of those like
How many square
microwave
feet is it?
boxes where people rotate shifts out of the bed.
No,
How many
no,
square
no.
feet is it, John?
Dude, it's not that big. I've been living there so long I lost count. It's 40 square meters.
So what is it? There's 3.3.
It's like
feet
120
down.
maybe. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know. the
amazing,
conversion.
eh? Like,
Oh, so you got like a
there's so
studio
many-
place then?
Yeah, there's so many tiny little places around the world, and that dudes live in, and they just love it. It's like, it's the ultimate minimalist style, right?
Dude, I'm a minimalist at the core because once I start moving around
That's
and
the way to
like,
go, man. Company one, minimalist.
dude, the things you own end up
Ability to
owning
maneuver.
you. It's so true. Straight from
Cappy's got
Fight
it
Club.
right. I mean, dude's in Vegas a lot. He's got the ability to maneuver. He doesn't have to work a lot.
Well, let me ask you guys this, especially John. Can you throw? I mean, you just decided to pick up from Japan, come to Wyoming. Can you throw all your stuff in a backpack and you're good to go?
All I care about is my laptop, my Megatron computer, and like, dude, I wear the same thing every day. Like, I don't care about. All I care about is stacking money, having sex, and eating good food and working out. Like that's all I care about.
You throw your underoos and your socks in there. You get your deodorant, your toothbrush, your laptop. You're pretty much good to go, right?
How old are you now, John?
30, just turned 34.
Oh yeah, okay. So you're just coming into the peak.
Yeah, it's good, man. Life's good. Got a lot of traction for what's going to be happening tomorrow with the launch of Body Language Mastery. So,
oh yeah, that's launching.
Yeah, so no, it's good. But like, because you know, Cappy, from 2012 to 2017, I went to Tokyo. Then I moved to Hawaii. Then I moved to Osaka. Then I moved back to Florida. Then I moved back to Tokyo. And every time I had to move and sell stuff, it just like made me. Just like having to, like, I just put everything on the free.
You have to prioritize.
Well, I just put everything on the free section of Craigslist, and I just said, "Hey, come get it." And the hillbillies would come, and they would just stack everything into their station wagons. But that's when I realized, like, it's just not worth having a lot of stuff. I just hate it. It just bogs you down, in my opinion.
Yep.
Hey, dude. So you're visiting your brother, right? Like, you got some nieces and nephews there too.
Yeah, that's why I'm dressed up in the Santa gigs. So,
how is that like with watching family around? Now that you're Red Pillow wearer, just kind of watching the dynamics as you see that again differently.
My brother is based as fuck. My brother everything the kids watch, he watches first. So he'll watch all of their stuff. Like one show, like whatever, LGBT, whatever. But one show, like the second season, they introduced like these animated characters, like 2 dads and 2 moms. He's just like, just not gonna. He's too young. He's 5. He can't even wipe his ass. Let's just, he does a lot of traditional masculinity stuff. The mom stays at home. They don't like. They're
what
Christian.
I was going to ask if it was a nuclear family. It is. That's awesome.
It is. He's 27. He's in the.
He's young, eh?
Yeah. He had kids and got married when he was 21. They never drank, they never smoked weed, they never clubbed. They're just church kids, and then like church kids, they were having sex, and then they accidentally got pregnant, and then got married.
So 21 church kids are banging, they get knocked up, and they just like do the right thing then, right?
Yeah. And she comes from a solid nuclear family. Her dad is from Chile, her mother's from Honduras.
Mm-hmm.
Mom's really feminine, very happy to be in America because obviously Honduras economically, you know what that's like.
Yeah.
So she's got her head on straight. Like, and I'm like really critical of her too. And my brother's like, you need to back off. I'm like, I know. But because I want to protect him. Yeah. And, but they're doing a really good job. I mean, the kids are real masculine. The boys are real masculine, and they just had their first girl. And so he's dealing with she's a lot more sensitive.
How old are the kids?
So Malachi turns 7 on Friday. Moses is 4. And
holy cow, you weren't joking about the religion.
And Maya is 1. Yeah.
I'll give your brother $1 if he names his next kid Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar was a bad guy, though.
Didn't he? Okay, not to quote my Bible history, but Nebuchadnezzar. But didn't he allow you could be Jewish? And didn't he or was it someone else conquered the Babylonians and set them free? No, never. I'm sorry, it was Darius. I think Darius conquered Babylon from the Persian Empire and set the Jews free.
It would be really bad if he named his son Nebuchadnezzar because my brother's name is Daniel, and Nebuchadnezzar oppressed Daniel in the Bible.
How about Meshach? There you go.
Abednego.
Yeah. My shack, your shack, and to bed we go. There we go. Right.
But I tell you, I'm having a lot of fun just being around the family and stuff compared to any day I went to the club and going buck wild this year. I've been having a lot of fun. I got sick as soon as I got here too because of the drastic weather change. But I don't know. It's been, to be honest, Rich, I've been having a really wholesome, good time. No money's involved. We've been just going to Walmart, and I've been drinking coconut water and stuff because it's hard to get in Japan. So I'm pretty happy.
You got your own car
do you go
out
that way
there?
with gifts too? We do the same thing here. It's no gifts. Just our time and attention is the gift. Don't give us anything. We don't give you anything. Do you go because you got kids? Do you do the thing, or does that make sense at all?
No, I don't.
It's the gift giving. I'm a huge fan.
Right?
I basically boycott December. No gifts. We don't want anything from you. Don't give us anything. We're gonna call
is everybody comes up with some bullshit. Kris Kringle, Secret Santa. And you have to end up going to a store with a $30 budget and buy some piece of shit that's going to end up in a landfill in 10 days anyway, right?
Yeah, see, that's another reason I don't like it because it's
what Christmas joy, Rich?
I know, but I mean, I just treat the kids to it, right? Christmas is fun for kids, I think, right? You do the elf on the shelf, you do the gifts and the stockings and all that stuff, but when it comes to firing up, silly trinkets from Kris Kringles or whatever, it's just really.
Yeah. I agree.
Do I need this box of whatever?
Dude, just that parking lot at the mall, it's like
Fuck that.
Oh, forget it.
Dude, I avoid the mall like it's the plague around December.
Yeah.
Oh, you should.
Dude,
have
Norman
any of you
behind
guys
the
seen,
wheel with some
evil
stress
in
is
there?
just ridiculous.
Have any of you guys seen the movie Donnie Brasco?
Yeah.
Older one?
long
Yeah,
time
I
ago.
think so.
Time ago.
It's got Johnny Depp and
Pacino.
Pacino's
Al
in it, too.
Pacino,
Yeah.
and they're in the mafia, and there's this scene where I think it's a Christmas or something, and hey, I got you a little bit of gift, then gives him just a wad of cash. She's like, oh, I got you a gift too, and it's just a wad of cash. And that's all we basically pulled off at our Christmas. Everyone just swapped bottles of booze. That's all we did. All the here's a wine. Oh, hey, here's some whiskey. I'm like, okay. And then we're like, we came with a bottle of booze. We're leaving, or a box of booze. Now we're leaving with a box of booze. And yeah,
least you
to
enjoyed
answer
the
your
gift,
question,
which is
Ryan, we
better
had
than
that
most.
event. We had that Christmas.
See, that's a good
Those are-
Christmas. It's
those are
honestly, it's
the
the most fun you can have on Christmas. Everything else is just stress that adds on top of it.
I agree with Ryan. Like honestly, like I had a great year financially, and I'm so happy and just hanging out with my family and stuff. To be honest with you guys, I'm getting a little bit of like the paternal itch. Like I feel like my instincts are telling me to reproduce.
Uh-oh.
Well, that'd be
Saw
called
your
sex,
family and now you want to
John.
reproduce. That's kind of creepy, dude.
So when are you speaking at the 21 comp?
Good one.
Never. I was thrown off the roster.
You guys. Am I the only one that's given this thing a break for like 2 straight days?
I want sons. I want children. I'm not like one of these people that are like, I don't want kids. I don't want to die alone. I don't want to like lay there on my deathbed. I'm like, I want people who love me around me. I can go out in peace.
Good luck with
I'll
that.
sit
My
there.
grandparents had
I'll
20
sit there.
kids, died alone. So
Really?
yeah,
20 grandkids? No one showed up?
well, 10 kids, 10 adopted kids. Yeah, nobody showed up.
Wow.
Damn, man.
Fuck that.
I even showed up
Hey,
on my.
is that gonna be-
Go ahead, Jack.
You're always going to
Get
get no-shows. It's just
Oh,
inevitable,
Cappy, is
right?
that
Yeah.
Cappy? Is that going to be in your book, like the dying alone boomer parents?
Oh God, you
Well,
have
the boomers is the one that didn't show up.
no idea how. There's just gonna be a crater left of the baby boomers when I'm done. There's also gonna be a crater left of the careerist women who, and I don't do anything but tell the truth. I do
Is
it
this gonna
very
be your
But
politely.
I mean,
and
the truth is so offensive, Aaron.
it
Cappy,
is.
your material is so addictive in a cynical way. I've caught myself recently been watching a lot of your stuff, but it's just so good. I think you're right when you said like sanity is the future fortune or something. You said
Future
like
of wealth.
future of wealth. I think it's true because more and more people are just so full of shit, and you don't side with reality. I mean, reality is gonna win. And
It's just a fresh breath to talk to someone where you don't have to second guess them. You know they're being honest with you, even if you may disagree. You know they're being honest, and so it just allows for a more efficient conversation and quicker intellectual stimulation. Where it's like this person isn't fucking around. He's not lying. He's not beating around the bush.
I just like
And-
knowing where I stand. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't know. Life is too short to be. I mean, you don't want to be a complete dick, but I don't have the time to pamper shit or pad shit and douse it up in a bunch of sugar and there. Well, let's try a little. It's like, no, here, eat this, and I don't care because if you don't eat, you're gonna die and fuck you. I got other shit to do. Space Ghost, to quote Terrence Pop. But yeah,
What does that mean? What does Space Ghost mean? I always wanted to ask that.
there's a
Coast to
cartoon
Coast.
called Coast to Coast with Space Ghost, and what is it, Ryan? They like cut up all the old Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah, and they made it into like a funny. I can't even really. It's just basically that they clip it all up, same as they did with like old Star Treks. Guys always do that stuff, which is hilarious.
All right.
Yeah, and
But
so
it was like-
Terrence Pop likes watching it, and he just says, "Fuck it, I'm watching Space Ghost."
Yeah, it was an Adult Swim thing back when they had everything was all fucked
yeah,
up.
Space Ghost used to be like an animated series, and then they kind of turned it into like this comedy talk show kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
I
that
stopped
really what hit
watching
it.
cartoons after like Johnny Bravo and Ren and Stimpy and stuff like that.
Well, this Hanna-Barbera stuff was in the 70s. That was like the same clips from when they used to do the Olympics. Remember those?
Probably, yeah.
The Hanna-Barbera Olympics? They always
Johnny-
cheated. in
Hanna-Barbera
And you guys watch Venture Brothers?
Yeah.
What's that?
That it was a spoof of Johnny Quest.
Yeah.
But it's when Johnny Quest becomes an old, bald, bankrupt doctor, and he's inherited his dad and the Venture estate, but it's all decaying, and they got a bodyguard, and all these henchmen are trying to keep. No one ever has seen.
I
I
watched
don't even know
Venture
what
Brothers.
Johnny Quest is, to be honest.
Oh, all right. Watch
Johnny
Venture
Quest, I
Brothers.
remember.
It's
Hey,
good.
I have a question for you guys that are doing YouTube. So I guess, those of you that are doing the regular uploads, have you noticed any changes lately in the last few months with YouTube?
Well, aside from the
with that new
upload hurdles,
system, they have that stupid workflow that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Hey, close that door. Get out.
Hey, what's going on in there, Uncle John?
Whoa, this isn't kid friendly. We're gonna
get that kid out of here.
I notice a lot of people are complaining about the COPPA laws when it turns out it's really not an issue.
They'll
It's
find
not.
some way to make it an issue if it's to their advantage, I'm sure.
But they already do that. The whole reason I know for a fact that policy is there so they have an excuse to ban something they don't like.
Do you guys ever get lectured by people that watch your shit that are like, I'm no longer watching this stuff on YouTube. You need to move to a more conservative platform that's friendly to this or that message, right?
Not
Oh,
yet.
yeah, no.
I
don't
get a
really
lot
listen
of
to anybody who
advice. I
tells me how to
choose
run
to
the show.
ignore it.
No, I just
Yeah.
passed the 1,000, so I'm not in the hater area yet. Like I get these snarky
Yeah, you're under the radar
remarks.
still, Jack.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
snarky remarks. Those
Yeah.
I get, but not the hatred.
My numbers have been kind of going up, but I wonder if it's coinciding with my launch coming up tomorrow.
Might be.
But things have been for me. I've been on the up and up, but again, like I'm at like 4,400, something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm still primordial ooze.
Yeah, and even if I wanted to listen to them when they were telling me what to do, like it's so conflicting. First video, oh, I hate your intro music, and then oh, I love your intro. Like everybody's got an opinion, and one of them makes sense.
Don't listen
You
to
don't
the
listen to
comment
any of the
section.
haters, right?
No.
Because
Well,
the
well, that's what I mean.
noisiest
Even if I
section is
wanted
always the
to, I
cheap
couldn't.
seats, right?
Like if Rich came in and says, "Oh, Aaron, you're really effed up here," I'd consider. I'd like, "Oh, well, what Rich is recommending it because he has a YouTube channel." But
Yeah.
dude, the amount of advice I get, you need to change the camera, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it's like, and then you look at their handle, it's poop fart 187.
Yeah.
Shit. And like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna listen to you. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like, who is giving you the advice? Again, if any man on this panel would say to me, Jack, maybe you should tone down the cursing and things like that, I'd say, okay, your YouTube channels, all of them are bigger than mine. So yes, I will take that as legit advice. But again, as Poopy Face 272 says, yeah, I don't care.
I listen to him though. When Poopy Face 272, then I.
Well, what if it's Cake in a
No,
Crisis
okay,
telling
that-
you? Then does it count or?
No.
What's that?
Like,
Hey,
Oh,
Cappy.
it's this trad thought online. It was on Twitter. It was hilarious. One of the Sun Hat gods.
Yeah.
She joined this
Uh-oh.
man's conference they were doing, and then instantly, like, almost docked somebody, and they had a huge falling out. Just like one chick was in for half an hour, and the whole thing got screwed up.
God
That's what
damn it,
happens,
Karen.
man.
Cappy, how old are you, bro?
44.
Good time to be alive.
No. It's,
Love the non sequitur.
it was tiring getting here. Like Ryan climbed that mountain, Busan, and you're kind of like, oh, yeah, Jesus. It's been fun, but it's kind of like, yeah, I've been watching like all these old TV shows to calm down at night. You guys ever hear of like the Saint?
Yeah.
The TV show?
No.
Yeah.
That's a good show.
Yeah, Roger
watched
Moore.
the
And,
Griffith
yeah,
show.
and it's just like, oh yeah, this is nice. Oh look, that was a James Bond chick too, but she was on the Roger Moore show, not with Sean Connery, who was James Bond during that time. And
Just waiting for your Rockford Files like marathon.
yeah, I'm gonna get to that point too. Yeah, I'm not yet at the late '70s, early '80s, but I'm gonna get there.
You're at the right age, Cappy, that you've been through more hell than a lot of us younger guys have. We got into the red pill at just a little bit later than we should have, whereas you got in it in what, your 30s or something like that.
Well, but I mean, how do you define that? Like, forget the red pill. How about just having the internet and different ideas floating around?
When did you start realizing everything was fucked up, and then like you
Yeah,
started
like,
like coming to think
my-
on your own?
Yeah, my question to you, Aaron, is what was it that red pilled you, or what was her name?
It was
What is
stages.
Cappy's origin?
It was stages.
stages?
It wasn't a lot of accidental alpha and then slowly putting it together as a cohesive theory later. But the first one was when I had a girlfriend in college and she wouldn't have sex. And I was poor. You know, I had to pay for food, clothing, shelter, and tuition. And yeah, tuition wasn't then what it is today, but it was
Still expensive.
yeah, I dropped from 147 pounds to 118. It
Yikes.
sucked. It fucking sucked. And so when I broke up with that girl, any girl that wanted to date after that, I'm like, are you going to have sex? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, fuck it. You know, none of this cuddling, none of this, let's just hold each other. No, we're either fucking having sex or go get the fuck out of here. And when I did that, I got a lot more, respect, but it worked. There was a more positive reaction. And there'd be shock. But then I just like my senior semester, I just dated like a fiend. I mean, I was like, what am I doing? So that was one thing. The other thing was being a ballroom dance instructor and a teacher. I taught economics and statistics.
Put you in a nice little honeypot there.
Oh God, it was
instructor,
fish in a barrel. It was.
I taught at a university in Tokyo, in Osaka. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah. And so anyway, that puts you in a position of authority, power, blah blah blah, center of attention. You can make a woman look great, and I kind of put that together. And then it was a little bit more crystallized, just being on the internet and like, oh, that's what's happening, or I see, I've made that connection now, so you get more of a coalesced theory as to how it works. But yeah, a lot of it was just the economics. Like, if you don't have a lot of resources, you don't have a lot of time to dick around. So if girls would stand you up, I'd double book, or I'd schedule a work shift and a date. And oh shit, I had a date and she showed up, and now I'm at work. Well, I'm sorry, I got to cancel on you. And then all of a sudden that worked better for.
And then she likes you more.
Right. So it wasn't like I had these cognizant deep theories and a whiteboard where I was strategizing. It was just, oh, I saw that worked, or that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be wide, just deep.
Yeah.
That's why I hate that. So many guys come in here and then they learn intersexual dynamics, and then they realize, well, that's fun, let's keep doing it. And then they get into that stupid Jewish conspiracy crap. And I'm like, dude, it's like, slow down. There's some depth to this. Just stick around.
Cap and Rich, I want to ask you guys a question. Yeah. So I have a personal theory I've been thinking about lately, that more intelligent people and more high IQ people are pulling away from the corporate world and becoming self-employed. And that's why we're seeing corporate world become stupid. You think that's true or false?
Yeah, you have to be sheep to stick in the corporate world for a long time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think back in the day, like, Hollywood attracted the creme de la creme because there was no internet, there was no this. You just had to go to these hubs.
Wall Street was always a destination,
right? And then because with the recent Star Wars, how they just completely aborted that movie. Like, you got to think of how dumb you have to be to ruin a Star Wars movie, and they did it.
You need to be dumber to enjoy it. Imagine that. Yeah, imagine how dumb you need to be to actually like it. Because
they don't enjoy it. They just it's like preaching. You know those comedians that aren't funny, but they preach the right things, like the Bill Maher effect, I'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing.
Rich man bad.
Uh-huh. Oh my God! Guess who we have in the on deck?
Who's coming on?
Who is anyone willing to leave?
I'll leave. I got to run.
I can bail.
I got to run
Rich,
in a bit too.
Okay, well, we only need one to leave. If someone's going to leave, let's have them leave now, and I'll bring on.
I got to go. I'm going to head to bed. I'll catch you guys in later.
All right, have a good one, Ryan.
Merry Christmas,
Ryan.
Merry Christmas.
Good meeting you.
Yeah.
Who is on?
Look at this.
All right.
Who's that?
Oh. Is that
no good, dirty Latina Mary Jo that nobody likes?
Mary Jo?
Cappy?
You got your voice on or what?
I think so. Can y'all hear me?
Okay, yeah, we can hear you. How's
Southern
Christmas?
Belle, huh?
Good. It was good. Kids.
I gotta run, guys. I'll see y'all later. Okay.
See you, Rich.
Thanks, Rich.
Peace.
Night, Rich.
Just kids opening presents, pajama day pretty much all day, going parents' house, all that. So it was pretty good. What about you guys?
I went to Wisconsin. God, she's worse than Ryan. Don't make no noise. Just you're coming in fine. You don't have to like.
Okay.
That. Yeah. What did we do? Jack jerked off. Cynic in chief. Cynic, what did you do for Christmas? You hang out with your fam down in your state?
Grandparents' house.
Okay, grandparents' house.
I've got a huge extended family around here, so we all gather together at the grandmother's house for most of the morning and afternoon and on into the evening. And I just got back right as you started.
Cool. How big are we talking when it comes to family?
So I've got 5 siblings.
You don't have to count. I mean, it can be an estimate.
I've got about a dozen different,
at
least a dozen different family members just at that gathering, and a bunch of them have started scattering around the country. So
the giant dinner table, everything.
Oh no, it's you have to have multiple tables because there's just not enough big enough table to fit that.
Did you have to sit at the little? Did you get to sit at the kids' chair? Have you been promoted to the adult yet, or the adult table?
Well, instead of having just 2 tables, they put like a few different smaller tables around with like 4 chairs at each. So you get a mix of kids and their parents, and then I get to sit with the aunts and uncles.
Cool. what was it? It was no more than 4 years ago. I had to sit at the kids' table because some brat bastard, Clary, didn't have the good decency to die that year, and enough people showed up that here I am. And it just, I was like, and it was logical because it made, okay, well, you're the youngest adult that I'm like, what? Like, really? And so here I am. Now, of course, there were other adults at the table, but it was like 5 adults and 3 little nieces or grandchildren or whatever. And I'm like, man, we're sitting at the kids' table. This is like so 1987 all over again. But thankfully, that person has since died, and now I can go sit back at the
finally. It used to be that way.
You have
but this time,
evolved.
this time, most of the kids are either late teens, grown up, or you got the really little next generation, and so they end up sitting with their parents because you can't put them at a single table by themselves.
Mary Jo, you make it to the adult table, or was it you were at the kid table, or what?
Who, me?
Yeah, you're the only Mary Jo here.
No, well, I made the turkey and the mashed potatoes, so I got a seat at the big kids table.
Oh, okay. Your mom help you out with any of that? Was it all you?
No, so this year, it was just me. Mom went to Illinois to go see her boyfriend's daughter, so they didn't come over. So it was just Sophia and I and the boyfriend and some of his family. So that was it.
Okay, thanks. I'll be out there.
It was a small little gathering then.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Okay, cool.
But it was
good. This is your first Christmas in your new house too, right?
No, I bought it last year in November, so this will be the second one. So
you've had that house that long?
I know. You still haven't visited me.
Well, the problem is you're not on the way to anything. If I was like on my way to the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, then I'd go through your town. But you're like, I'm either going to Vegas, you're not there. I go to maybe Florida, you're not there.
Okay, but to be fair, this is what Cappy does. To be fair, he's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm working. I'm always fucking working. And then he was like, I'm going to Vegas on Tuesday. And I'm like, it's Monday at 4 p.m. Like, I can't go tomorrow. There's like not even a flight out from San Antonio. I'd have to drive an hour to Austin to catch a flight to go to like Vegas or wherever the fuck you're at. So you always tell me super last minute. I'm like, I have a kid. I actually got to work.
Hey, Mary Jo.
Look at this man, this Adonis with that Christmas hat.
Let me explain something. If it makes you feel better, Mary Jo, I do that to all my great friends because I don't get the idea until like, hey, I could go to Vegas tomorrow. I'm like, hey, Mary Jo, you want to go? And you're the first of my friends that I call, as far as you know, that I invite.
That's true.
Yeah, as far as you know. And then no one can make it. So don't feel bad.
Cappy, what's the appeal of Vegas for you?
Well, it's warm. You can ride motorcycles. There's hiking. There's golfing. You can Utah is beautiful. Got a lot of mountains. The Grand Canyon is nearby. It's cheap. And the other thing is there's so many volumes of flights going to Vegas. It's dirt cheap. You can fly round trip for like $60.
Really?
Yeah. And then the bus literally just almost drops me off within 3 miles of the house that I crash at. Mm-hmm. And I just hop on the bus for $2.
I would pay so much money to see you on a public bus.
I was about to say, Cappy, come on, you're better than riding a bus. What's that all about?
Let me
I would like to see people watch on the bus to Vegas. I can just see you taking all these like little like mental notes, like beautiful mind. You're just like, I bet you that person's on welfare. Like,
no, because they're not Latina. That's how you know they're not on welfare, Mary Jo.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. We're on the way to go clean your houses.
Cappy, the apple pie was just pulled out the oven, so I'm gonna go.
You gotta get going.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for joining. We're just busting your balls and all that, but it was good to have you on finally, John.
Trust me, verbal abuse is my love language.
Get your ass out to the Black Hills if you got a car. That's what I was going to ask you. Is if you have a car, get your ass out to the Black Hills.
Black Hills, what's there?
That's where Mount Rushmore is.
Okay, we're gonna go ride horses at some Air Force thing.
Soon, Jesus, don't ride horse. Just okay, fine. Ride the horse.
We're gonna go Braveheart. All right, I'll see you later. You guys take care.
John.
Peace out.
See you soon.
Bye.
Anyway, I ride the bus because it's cheap. I don't have to fetch a car. I don't have to pay Uber. And there's nothing wrong with riding the bus. There's white people on the bus too, Mary Jo. I know
white people on the bus.
Yes, there is, because they're all going to the strip. It goes right to the strip, and then it shoots out to the southeast.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that.
Now the people they pick up on the strip may not, and there it has nothing to do with race. You're just like, they're 3 sheets to the wind already, and they got on the wrong bus.
Goodness. Yeah, Ken and I actually saw quite a few of them when we were on Fremont the last time. Well, I was there right after Christmas last year. It's been a whole year since I've been in Vegas.
Yep.
We left right before New Year's. But yeah, there is a bunch of people on Fremont.
Hang on, let me try something. If anyone would like to see Mary Jo come back on the show, let's see some super chats. Let's see if this works. Because
no. There needs to be something else for the super chats. You have the pinups, right?
I got the pinups, but you could go to Patreon and get Mary Jo's pinups, along with dumbass shit that I've written that no one cares about, no matter how deep philosophical it may have been.
You're right.
Yeah, I write.
Like children's books?
Yeah, like children's books about shitting buffaloes.
No, do not let Cappy around the kids.
Wait. Curse after 1 + 1 is 2, right?
Wait, Mary Jo, you do know I did write a children's book.
No, I did. Are you
serious? You got your computer in front of you, or wait, you're on your phone, right?
No.
You got a computer?
I am on a computer.
Okay, look up Boris the Shitting Buffalo.
Is that a real book? I just thought somebody made that for you.
No.
I really did. I thought somebody superimposed the pictures and created that cover.
It's a 100% legitimate book. You can order it. You'll learn everything about South Dakota. It's an epic story.
I learned everything about South Dakota when I watched Dances with the Wolves. Okay, so that was it.
Yeah, it's a little dated. Things have changed just a little bit.
Yeah. Just a little.
Oh, but anyway, listen, guys, I do have to get going. So I did want to say thank you for everyone for being on, and to have a Merry Christmas and all that. Let me get lastly through the super chat so I don't chintz anybody out. Charles Mack for $10. The message was retracted. Nonstop Dre for $5. Questions for all of you. You have to live in one of the following cities permanently till death: San Francisco, Detroit, Portland, or Wyoming. Ooh, I'd go Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Yeah,
Wyoming.
Yeah, because there's mountains.
Detroit. North part of Detroit's actually pretty nice. You have to go downtown or south in order to get terrible.
I just know I could avoid people in Wyoming. I mean, it wouldn't be that fun. Ray John for $5. I wish everyone in the chat, the gentlemen on the panel, a happy holiday and high hopes and success for a New Year's. Godspeed. I am out. Have a good night, Ray John. Ice Nose for $2. Say, Ryan, do you know Barrett's Privateers? Ryan's gone. Ice Nose, how do I get the girls for $2?
Well, that's a very, very important question in a man's
There's
life.
a website for that.
Yes.
It's called
Pornhub.
It's called sugardaddy.com. You can go and get yourself a sugar baby.
I should get the domain for howdoigetthegirls.com.
Go to Amsterdam, pay me $1,000, and I will get you laid. Promise.
What's the markup on that? $500 right there?
Oh no, that's way more. No, but don't tell them. That's
right,
investment and effort and things like that, and taxes.
Effort.
I need that 1,000 so he can get laid. I am an honest man.
I actually had one client actually do what I told him and fly out to Vegas to get laid. He actually lost his virginity that way. And,
really?
Yeah,
That's
because usually,
awful.
Huh?
At the Bunny Ranch or where?
I don't know. I think he went to Pahrump or one of the other bunny ranches, but he actually did it. So
Is
now,
that called a bunny ranch?
I don't know. There's no bunnies at the ranches, I don't think.
We have
they're just prostitutes.
Yeah.
I think it's from the Playboy days when they put fake bunny ears on the ladies.
Oh, those were good days, man. Like Hugh Hefner died a happy man.
Did you guys hear the article? It was written about Delta Airlines, and from 1950 to 1970, they had men-only flights from like all the major cities in the United States, and scotch and cigars and poker, and women were not allowed, and they would run cover for you over your wife. So if your wife called, they'd say, well, he hasn't landed yet, ma'am, but we'll certainly let you know. And they wouldn't tell it. Oh,
the good old days.
Hey,
man.
Chad wants back in.
All right, we're getting him back in, but we're going to be real quick, and we're gonna call it a night.
Okay.
What's up, Chad? Did you want to be on the show with Mary Jo here?
I admit I was enjoying my beer and my blueberry pie with my nephew and sister and brother-in-law, but when I saw Mary Jo was in
Yeah,
there,
you got to come on, right?
forget all that stuff.
Yeah. We need to have a face-off. If you're doing a super chat, say Chad or Mary Jo to see who will bring in more super chats and the other.
That's not a fair game to play.
Yes, it is, Chad.
I don't know.
You will out super chat her. I mean,
I think so. I
she's
think
a
he totally
Latina.
would.
Come on.
With that
Come on,
5
Chad.
o'clock beard he's got going, what are you going to go join the Lumberjacks or something? You got a flannel?
I think it's pretty sexy. Good for you, Chad.
Ooh, I was about to defend myself, but now I don't have to.
Oh,
Chad's winning.
thanks, Mary Jo. We came to pick on Chad now with you here.
Yes,
I knew it was a good idea to come in here.
it was.
I mean, with a face like Chad, he never has to clean houses. I mean, Mary Jo, I don't know, man.
All right, guys, I gotta get going. One last super chat from Nonstop Dre. Mary Jo, obviously laughing out loud. Thank you guys for coming on the show. Thanks for all the previous guests we had. Mary Jo, it's very nice to see you finally come on the show. Do you understand the technology thing, or did your boyfriend have to help you out with this one?
No, I Googled and I called somebody and I made them work on Christmas Day so I could figure it out.
Wow. Okay.
Spell Google? Isn't that too hard?
No,
Or do they
I
have a
clicked on the link you
cleaning
sent me.
brand? Do they have
All
a
right.
cleaning brand in Latin America that's called Google as well that made it easier?
Mary Jo, would you like it? Mary Jo, would you like to take us out appropriately?
Oh wait.
God almighty, she's not even drunk, guys. This is
I know, I'm sorry.
throw
Hang
one
on.
woman into the outfit. Will you take us out appropriately, Mary Jo?
What do you say? Toodles?